Yeah, at the bar radio.
Yeah, you already know the team, Billy, man. And you bought a radio.
Just know why, what they just it's just that plan, it's that plan. It's a different day, not the same stuff, nigga. I've been wanting read like a rapper, boy, nigga. They just they nothing but I'm here to make my story. Keep that like a fucking win. Oh no, I had that people. She had getting on my boat, girl. And they stop getting that back. Go get a pack of bag of book. So now I'm always tripping up and scared what the right. So they know I'm pimping. I say I got they just know I'm living, working my body. Come on, they just know I got the vision. They just know I got the script. Y'all don't know if me to implement necessary. I'm a proper politician. Have to carry it, wait, never dealt with the opposition. My homie trying to be the case when he ain't no fucking fist. I'm trying to cop a burger, he come out with a lot of pictures. And I can never chase when ain't no law. You got them riches. I wanna know. I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out where to get lit. You yo, just know why, where they chick at. I'm on the road, cause this they planning, this they get paid. I've been asking where your bitch at.
They were stuck for a second.
Trying to figure out where to get lit. You yo, just know why, where they chick at. I'm on the road, cause this they planning, this they get paid. Yeah. Told him, you made this? Yeah. Oh no. I've been asking where you bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out where to get lit. You just know why, where they chick at. I'm on the road, cause this they planning, this they get back. I'm on the road, trying to figure out where your bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out where to get lit. You just know why, where they chick at. I'm on the road, cause this they planning, this they get back. It's a different day, not the same stuff, nigga. I've been wanting read like a rapper, boy, nigga. They just they know, but I'm here to make my story. Keep that like a story, written. Oh no, I had that people. She had getting on my boat, girl. But if they stop getting out of line, better go get a pack of bag of book. So you know I'm always tripping up and scared what the right. So yeah, they know I'm pimping. While I'm getting out of line, I better know I'm living, working my bro. Take my day, know I'm got some vision. And stuff with the right. So they know I'm pimping. Don't make one that's to stay. I'm gonna put some politics. I never dealt with the opposition. My homie trying to be the guy when you ain't a fist. I'm trying to cut some burger, he come out with a lot of pictures. And I can never chase when ain't no law, you got them riches. I'm trying to be the guy when you next to where you bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out where to get lit. You yo, just know why, where they chick at. I'm on the road, cause this they planning, this they get back. I'm on the road, trying to figure out where your bitch at. She on the phone. Trying to figure out what it is. You on your own, just know why, with that chit chat. I'm on the road, it's just that planning, this thing get back. You on the phone, trying to figure out what it get lit at. You on your own, just know why, with that chit chat. I'm on the road.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Hey.
I was,
your eyes is looking kind of chinky already.
I was expecting the music video. I thought we had the music video as always. What happened, man? You know we go to video after the intro. That's why.
All the
Not
time.
all the time.
Then you put me sitting down on camera, man. I'm like,
I didn't know you were going to move.
that's unprofessional.
That's
Trying to,
what you do, though.
I know I'm trying to change my image.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That makes sense, I think.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Depends on the situation.
Well, I figured because the Washington football team played yesterday,
Oh, man.
we should just go right into sports.
Oh, man.
You know,
What-
get your analogy.
What had happened was, all right. Normally we talk sports. Unfortunately, yesterday I'm gonna have a teaching moment right here. We're gonna step away from sports right now. All right. I was in a situation. Now this is about understanding the terms of an agreement before you agree to do something.
Okay.
Now, granted, you said that there was a Washington football game at 6 o'clock yesterday.
That's true.
Now, Saturday is my long day at work. So I was plotting, trying to find a way to see if I could get off early to go catch the game so I could do my report for the show.
Right.
So around 12 o'clock, my manager comes to me and said, can you do us a big favor? It's a huge favor. It's like, sure, what is it? Could you deliver this vehicle to West Virginia?
Oh.
Now, me, being that I've been to West Virginia several times, I'm thinking off the break, Charlestown, Camden, that's 2.5 hours one way. You know, get back, it'd be 6 o'clock, day almost over. I hit my number. I wasn't really tripping about,
Right.
you know, knocking nothing out on Saturday. So I'm like, all right, bet. Now, the mistake that I made,
What was that?
I did not ask which part of West Virginia before I agreed.
Yeah, because you said Charleston. I was gonna
Yeah,
say they told you.
That's what I assumed. And when, like they say, when you assume,
Yeah,
you make
you
an
make-
ass out of you.
and anybody else involved.
Yeah. So I put the address in my GPS in my phone.
That's why they said it's a huge paper.
This motherfucker says 6 hours and 32 minutes
So,
one way.
Yeah.
One way. So I'm all the way on the other side of the mountain.
So you literally had to drop up a mountain?
Yeah.
You literally
You
have
literally
to drive
drive
on the other
around
side
through
of
a
West
mountain.
Virginia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So me and my buddy that we agreed before we found out the terms of the situation. So we look at each other like, fuck, what did we just agree to? He like, can I get out of this? I'm like, dog, we done already agreed. So we make the trip all the way up to West Virginia. Get there at 6:30. We made great time. Got there at 6:30. Game starts at 6. And I'm sitting there with the client, get ready for the paperwork out. And I'm getting alerts on my phone. I look at my phone. It's 17-0 in the second quarter. I'm like,
Yes.
what the hell is going
Yes,
on?
the second quarter already had me a little upset.
I'm like, I recorded the game. I'm like,
Did
when I
you
was
see
in
at
the,
the end of the second quarter?
I haven't seen it. I
No,
was gonna
mean
wait
your
there.
alert.
Oh no, after I saw it, I think it was
You just turned them off.
I just because it was a situation with the deal. I can't really go into it on the air, but there was a clerical error in some of the paperwork, and
Which caused
the
you to
situation almost
delay.
presented itself where the client wasn't going to take delivery of the vehicle. Then me and my boy would have had to drive all the way back for no fucking reason at all. And the client was like, if I wouldn't have took delivery, I'd have went to the ATM and got it like $200 for y'all guys for driving all the way out here. I'm like, you know, I appreciate it, but you know, you taking delivery, you know, it's a mix up. They're gonna overnight the paperwork, yada yada yada. So I say that to segue into this nice beverage we have sitting here because it's the gift from the client yesterday in West Virginia.
That's nice.
Yes, it's some Tennessee moonshine that we're going to partake of during the show. And shout out to my man Grant. We're going to talk. He's a real estate agent out there selling $1 million homes.
Yeah,
They have some nice homes out there.
they do. Most people don't want to move there
Because it's so fucking far away.
from everything.
Exactly. And I mean, it's nice.
The
We was.
cost of living is really
Oh yeah,
low.
yeah. I've been up there a few
So
times.
you didn't look at you a sugar mama when you was out there?
I'm
We ain't had time, bro. We had to get back,
He's
man.
been up there.
We almost decided to stay the night, get a hotel room because my coworker actually grew up in that area. So when we got there, he was like, "Dog, I haven't been home in like 16 years." Because he was in the military and traveled around. So he outside. I told him about the situation. So he get on the phone like, "Oh, he trying to hit some folks up like, oh, well, if we gonna stay, we might as well get into something." I'm like,
Oh my goodness!
I'm like, dude, I ain't got no
you
change
do
of clothes.
not need to be
In West Virginia,
Man,
late night. I've been in West Virginia late night before.
You are the worst person.
I know,
I'm sorry.
I
Did you
know.
find trouble?
No, trouble
No.
finds me. I just be minding my business.
Okay.
And then the situation approaches, and I have to react accordingly to what I'm getting. If I'm getting an asshole vibe, I have to give that vibe back
Okay.
in tenfold,
Okay.
because that's the way the universe works.
I hear you.
Yeah. But that story was to say, before you agree to anything,
So
get
you
all the
missed-
terms.
You missed all the games.
I missed a game
because the
and
Mystics. So, Washington football team was home.
National.
They lost. The
Yeah.
Mystics were home.
They lost.
They won.
Well, they did win.
The Mystics won by 1 point.
Yeah, so they were down. Okay.
And then DC United was home. I think. Yeah, they won. but then
Nationals lost. I saw
Yeah.
that. I mean,
I was trying to bring that back.
I mean, you
but
know,
they
we-
weren't home. I don't think. No,
yeah, they was
weren't.
in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they won the first game of the series.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, we'll cover that tomorrow night on Sports on Hill, and I'm gonna go home and I'll be watching the game tonight and tomorrow.
Are you sure? Because we're drinking some Tennessee moonshine.
Well, because Tuesday is the last day of the month, is my day off. We have to do open and close, so we get another day off. So I'm gonna text them around 9:30 and let them know I'm taking Monday as my day off,
There you go.
and I'll be in there Tuesday and the rest of the week to
I
work
wish
my
you would
shift.
have told me. See, you tried to keep this a secret.
What that is?
This Tennessee moonshine, because I would have brought some Tennessee whiskey in here. Y'all would have heard me singing if we would have had both.
Then see, you always got to take it to that next
What
level,
you
man.
mean?
Why can't we just partake of
There's
this?
a whole
and see-
song dedicated to Tennessee whiskey. So come on now.
I know I've drank in Tennessee whiskey,
Okay, so I would have bought some Tennessee whiskey to couple with the moonshine.
but why would we need to do that?
Because it's a good thing to do.
See,
Well, I'm going to get a gallon of moonshine
see,
next couple of weeks.
see, I just bring in the mason jar, just something modest. She pulls the gallon
Hold on,
out the
hold on.
bag.
Don't even do
He
that because
talking
first of
about
all,
getting
when
a
I
gallon.
brought that mason jar filled with
Well, we still got
whiskey and cherries, I'm
I
sorry,
ate it.
moonshine and
I ate a
cherries.
couple, but I don't.
But you
I'm-
act like you were going to
because-
run full speed away.
Because I know how, because I've done that before, so I know what the repercussions. I'm not. I've done the watermelon with the vodka in, and I've done the cherries
the
soaked in
cherries
it.
are not that bad.
When they've been soaked for how long?
My moonshine cherries are
How long?
amazing.
How long
Still
did it
soaking?
been? I know. I saw them over the counter when I came in today. I was like, they don't fan that motherfucker bottle too. You probably put a match to that. That shit probably light right now.
Okay, so you don't think that this was,
Yeah.
I've had Tennessee moonshine before, and he said it's not the
oh, and it's
uncut.
cold too.
Yeah, he said it's best served cold.
So,
That's
That's
what
why I
it is.
say, ooh.
the degree. So, since you bought it, so that means you tap in the bottle, you open it up.
Yeah, I'm finishing up my other drink right now before I crack.
What other drink? What's that?
I had some Hawaiian punch, man. Can I get
With
my...
what in it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
When I eat my food, I like to have a nice chill beverage before the alcohol begins. When you get here, and then everything just turns to alcohol.
What? When I get here,
Uh-huh.
I believe you brought this. Don't blame me.
The last couple times she hasn't bought it.
Right, because you have
Cause
provided.
you be pulling gallons out of bags and shit that equates to all I
Well,
bring in the
guess
whole
what?
time of the
when
show.
I'm responsible for the alcohol, guess what? We get alcohol.
That's
like
why I don't
for
ever
real.
bring nothing, because I know you got it. If you ain't got it, I know he got a cupboard full of something over there, a concoction mixed up and shit.
Well,
Then look, see,
shout out. No, because I didn't bring this.
nah, but you gonna like it though.
Look, it's frosted over.
We told you was gonna like it.
Tasty.
Shout out to Sade. She's the owner of Tiana Tasty. She made these pouches. She specifically made one that so we could Lady Antoinette.
Thank
She made it split in the
you.
fridge. It was hard though, because it was a hard week. I
You almost drank
almost drank that shit.
I don't know how I survived in a whole week. I was wondering how all three of them still in there.
Mm.
That's bad.
Rum
Check it
punch.
out. It might be Hawaiian punch frozen in one of them joints. Might have replaced it.
Well, this one is not Hawaiian punch. This is rum punch.
You got
Thank
that little.
you.
You taste that little kick after too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that shit had me fucked up.
I have had some really good rum punch.
You done
in my
made
days.
some really good rum
Hey.
punch, folks. Like, you know, you see,
And that's what
don't be excluding
honestly,
facts.
this does remind me of when you go to Jamaica, you get to your resort, they're like, here, take a rum punch. Thank you, I'll have two. You know, that's kind of what.
Okay.
We need to go to Jamaica, guys.
I gotta get a passport.
Do that, and then we can go ahead to Jamaica and we can film from there.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Right, CP3?
Yeah, I gotta get my passport too. I got my passport photos. I just signed my passport. Long story.
So when you prepping for the statement,
Things
Nah,
got tight.
it's probably used for some stuff with other names on it.
Things got tight. The post office had to, switch some things up.
yeah, okay. See. So,
But I propose that, and thank you, Sade, for for your wonderful rum punch.
So how was your trip last week?
First of all, I didn't get off work till late Friday. I'm a trainer, so training class, and I didn't get off until late. Hmm?
Knife play.
No,
Oh.
not that kind of training.
Oh, I'm saying you gotta clarify with you.
I'm a trainer, but I had a new hire class I had to train and it went over. And so I didn't hit the road with I didn't hit the road until I didn't hit the road until late to go to South Carolina. South Carolina, y'all.
That's a nice drive.
Man,
The Carolina is.
Oh, 95 got like all this traffic. And I know this because I have already this summer done a lot of traffic.
Yes, you have.
Okay. So I know 95 like the back of my hand. It took me 9 hours to get to Myrtle Beach. I was so upset.
That ain't too bad.
For me, it is.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Don't
forgot.
do that.
I forgot I was talking to a Warp Speed lady answered that over this joint.
But I was so upset. That was so wrong for me.
I know you
But
was like ludicrous. Move, bitch, get out the way. I know you was mad though.
I was so upset. And I wasn't that bad, but I kind of was like, oh my God. You know, I don't normally have road rage. I do drive a little fast though, but not road rage. You never heard me with road rage. You've never heard it.
But I can see it happening.
Like if it's real bad, no, I did get into an argument with this one man on the road. But
Hold on. How'd you get in the argument? Did y'all actually pull over?
I was about to. Because he pulled up next. First of all, okay, so let me tell you. It was really bad. So I'm driving down 95, right? And there's like a row of cars in front of me. And there's a row of cars in the next lane. This is where 95 is only 2 lanes.
Okay.
In the right lane, obviously they're going slower than the left lane. But the left lane, we kind of had to slow down a little bit because somebody up there was going slow. The man behind me, I saw he had his hazards on. And I was like, why does he have his hazards on? So then he flashes his lights at me.
Oh.
I was like, is he flashing his lights at me?
Throwing gang signs.
But my thing is, somebody's in front of me, somebody's in front of them, somebody's in front of them.
But he wants you to do something.
So I was like, nah, he ain't flashing at me. Think he does it again. So I'm getting angry at this point.
Boom, man.
And then, it was a little bit of clearing in the lane to the right. And he pulls up next to me and is like looking at me. So
Oh, shit.
I go off. I'm going off. I am not going to say the things that I said to this man on air right now. I'm not going to say
Hold
that.
up.
But it was bad.
Was it an old white man or old black man?
No, okay, oddly enough, because people who really know me know I have Pacific Islander, family, and that's what he was. I was like, traitor. And I called him so many names, and you can mouth. And then I rolled my window down.
Was you by yourself?
Yes, I don't care. I was pointing.
And where was you at on 95 again?
Did he pull up?
He was looking at me like he didn't expect that because he apparently once as time went on I could see he was a bully on the road. So like he expected everybody to get over, and let him through. That wasn't gonna happen, and you got the right one. You got the right one because he looked like, kind of like sat back a little bit when he realized I reacted that way. It was bad, but I got into one argument.
Surprised you pulled a picture under the seat, tapping the
That's
glass.
I was like, this is why people get shot. Like,
this is why I stopped carrying my pistol in the car.
I promise you. See, I don't want no problems down South Carolina.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want that down there.
I promise you, yeah. Or North Carolina. I ain't put no problems in none of the Carolinas. So I said I was on the phone with my friend, and she was like, "Oh my God." I was going off. I said, "I'm going on definitely because I wouldn't pull it out on him." It was so bad. But I went down for a wedding.
How do you end?
I'm going to kill this motherfucker on the way of the wedding. I was a bridesmaid,
But when it was so crazy because when I got to the resort, it was this black lady. She was really nice to me, and I was talking to her, and then she was like, "Yeah, because the Dallas Cowboys." I said,
"Oh, damn."
I said, "I thought we were really, becoming friends." Until you said that, she said, "You a Redskin fan?" I said, "I just told you where I'm from." And so then she says, she points out this guy who works there. She's like, he's a Redskins friend. He's from up there. So apparently he's older, an older white guy, but he went to Friendly High School
Oh wow.
in PG County.
All right.
So I was like, oh, okay, I live right around the corner from there. You know, we got him and I got to talking. So I didn't know he was in charge of the valet. So he comped my valet for the weekend. I was like, oh. But the wedding was wonderful. So congratulations to my boy Melvin and his beautiful bride Randy. But the wedding was wonderful. Took me about 9 hours to get home. I told him, I was like,
Hey.
I must really love y'all.
Yeah, exactly. At least you went to something you wanted to go to after 9 hours.
Yeah.
I got bamboozled and
Yeah.
making it trip.
I don't even know what to tell you about that. I
But
really
now
like
in
that
South
trip.
Carolina, that's not bad at all though. What you gonna be doing?
I'm not-
7.5.
Because when I told him what it normally takes me to get down there,
He ain't
was
believe it.
like, something ain't right with you. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna tell nobody that anymore.
She be cutting through the woods and shit.
'Cause I didn't got to Raleigh in like 4.
What the fuck?
How the fuck you get to Raleigh in 4?
That's what my sister said.
How fast
She
you
was
going?
she was in the car with me and she was like, wait. Because we got to Richmond, it was like an hour and a half. She was like, wait, how did we get here?
Okay, hour and a half
You know
to
the funny thing is,
Richmond.
so
I can see that.
I used to, my
Right.
people used to drive really fast, so I always assumed he was
Yeah,
going.
that's how it was.
And I would fall asleep in the car.
That's
so,
what she did. She fell
so
asleep.
I would be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, hey, you get to Richmond in about an hour. And I was like, indeed.
It depends. I go 301.
This was when me
No,
and
my,
my
my,
sister.
my people is, you know,
95.
no, they
Yeah.
go, no, they're going 95.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. They're not on 95.
Yeah,
because they're
on
Going
90. You go
95.
to 90 or 95 or 95.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity. But some places the speed limit is 80. So that means that legally
do
you
90.
can go 90. So I don't
I
see
mean,
the
you know,
problem.
I was doing 90 yesterday. They had
And
70.
keep in mind, though, this is early 90s, 2000, so we were young, we did reckless shit. You know, if the traffic was backed up, we ride on the shoulder.
See, I never did that. Well,
I saw a lot of
I
people
did
doing
when I
that.
had my
Yeah.
truck. I did when I had my
Yeah,
truck.
yeah.
There's
Damn.
some things I don't do anymore when I'm traveling, but you know, but I had a good weekend. This week was really stressful. I was at least 10-hour days every week, and then I did a 5K yesterday.
Yeah, tell us about that. What made you want to do that?
I've done a 5K before, so but I've never done a virtual 5K. So they've been around for a while, but because of the pandemic, you know, they're become a little more popular. So I did a virtual 5K. It was called the 80s Summer Fun Run. I should have bought my medal in here, guys. But I did. I posted a picture on my social media of my beautiful medal. It's like a boom box.
Yeah, I saw it.
And it had like a tape dangling from it. It's
Yeah.
the coolest medal I ever seen. I was like, oh, I want that. I was like, God, sign me up. But it is actually in support of youth sports. So that's really cool. But you do your 5K for virtual. They give you a time frame. You have to get it done by a certain day. Today was the final day, so I did it yesterday. And then you are supposed to, you know, submit your 5K, you know, proof. So I did, you know, most apps will track it for you. So I did that. 5K, if anyone doesn't know, is 3.11 miles. So that's not that bad.
I do that every day at work, pretty much.
There you go.
I
There
walk
you
that
go.
pretty much every day at work.
It's just the only thing that I decided to do it on Saturday, and I didn't realize it was going to be so hot and humid.
Hmm.
So I felt like I was going to die the whole season.
So you finally understood what it felt like to be out in the field.
I mean, I've been, but as you
No,
know,
yeah,
yeah, I know it.
You know she got the first on today, right?
I got my stab vest today. Maybe I have to put it
Do
on.
you have it on now?
It's about to
'Cause
get put up.
I got my knife on me now.
Next video break. Can we go to a video?
Cut.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, like it was really hot, and I found out last year, July 3rd, that me and Extreme Heat.
No mix.
Why you already laughing?
because
You laughing?
because
but-
I don't mix with it well.
So I did a whole 10K, right?
Oh, wow.
On July 3rd last year. I don't know if y'all remember, but it was like 99 degrees. and I scared the crap out of my friend because I like really almost died. Like
Oh shit.
I had a heat stroke.
Oh no.
I was in bed. Like 4th of July came, nobody saw me because I was in bed.
Dehydrated in the bottom.
Man, it was bad.
Did you have to get IVs?
No, I should have.
That's well,
No, I was supposed to do
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
And like after the fact, and I went to the doctor, they was like, "What? Like you
What's wrong with you?
you was just laying in bed?" I was like, I was drinking water.
just dry. Just dry.
You ever try to explain to the doctor so they look at you? What the fuck is this? They don't even discuss.
It's been so many times in my life the doctors have gone off on me. Like when I sprained my knee and I was trying out to be an agent of a certain
Who'd you drop kick?
so I sprained my knee and it was something stupid because I told y'all before the cameras was going to fall sometimes.
No.
But I fell in the house, walking down the hall. And so I was training for this position that was an agent, law enforcement. So I kept training.
With
And my
sprained
knee.
If you fall and just walk down the hallway, how you going to arrest someone?
But so let me tell you. So my doctor said it was hurting. Yes, it was hurting. She's like, "Well, what did you do?" I was like, "I just massaged it." She went off on me.
I put some shea butter on it when I rub my knee.
I was like, I just kept rubbing it. I thought it was gonna go away. It was like a month in. It was still hurting.
You sound like me.
After a month, I was like, maybe I should get some X-rays.
Put some tussin on it.
And I was still training every day, y'all. It was bad.
That's because we raised up Robitussin and ginger ale.
But that's why it was going on for so long because I kept training, so it was bad. But so yeah, that's enough about me and my medical history. I know to some people, medical
No, I mean,
professionals like,
it's hilarious because my sister has vertigo. She actually trips upstairs sometimes.
okay, I don't have vertigo, especially when I was a teenager.
Like, how do you fall upstairs?
It's easy to do. Let me tell you.
It
I
happens.
feel like there's a step once they push you up a little bit,
I mean, as a kid, we'd be sitting in the living room.
and then you hit do.
Oh, you hear in the bottom of the steps, like.
My joint was just sitting in the bottom.
No, I was the one that was falling over after I was done that, and I still do it. I
Oh,
still
that
do
shit
it.
is hilarious.
Like my mom and dad had the double doors to their bedroom,
Yeah.
and you know, back in the early '90s, you know, if I had my phone, like you know, I was all pressed. I had my phone in my room, but when their phone would ring, there was more important calls. If they weren't home, I would run down the hall to go answer the phone in their room. But they would have that one door bolted in place, and the other door would be open.
You ran into that.
So my shoulder, and then it would hit it, and those doors, when you hit it, it goes. It's like really, really loud. Bad. And that's me. I'm always.
Oh, shit.
so
Oh, man.
yesterday I had a good
I ain't
day.
opened a bottle yet. Shit.
Yesterday I had
Great.
I'll take a cup of that.
Oh, yeah.
You can't open it. You need me to open it because you know I'm strong.
You've been training.
So yesterday I went to Chef Rock's restaurant to take some pictures
Okay, Chef Rock.
at Queen's Mother's. He had
He's strong.
is she open? He used to do it. So yesterday I went to Chef Rock's restaurant to take some pictures.
Oh, no.
You know what?
I train.
I guess because alcohol was involved, you got
Don't do-
superhuman
don't
strength.
You a whole hater.
So
You a whole hater.
So I went there, and there was the something that you actually might be interested in, maybe that's that. Black, what's it called? Black Queens Matters was there.
Okay. Okay.
And
I've
they-
actually heard of that.
They actually they actually go to like black establishments. The thing about y'all maybe even get an interview here.
Yeah.
But they go to like black establishments, and they basically support it and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it was really good. They're really positive, and they had a great
I'm
time.
gonna wait till I turn this down.
So that was good. And then that was the first part of the day.
Yeah, we definitely need to do get Black Queens Matter. I feel like I've heard of them.
I actually got them on my IG now.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna look because some things like that. I be having people like remember one time we had a guest and I was like, I know you. We was already connected.
We thought you had pulled up on him before, but yeah, you were on social media.
So
friends.
yeah, I'll look too.
So we definitely want to do that. But I just they had dope energy. It was fun. It was cool, and that was the normal part of my day.
Oh, okay. Just tell us about the rest of the event.
So let's
Yeah.
do the drink first.
Yeah, the second event that I missed because I was on
You
a
was in West
journey
Virginia.
to West Virginia and West Bumble. Never mind. It was a good visit. It's providing.
He's gonna put extra in my
Because you're gonna be back over here.
Some more.
I was like, let me go ahead and top that off because he's gonna be like, that shit was good. Let me
Hey,
get it
don't
now.
say that. He has to tell the story first.
It's gonna get real interesting. Man.
He's just gonna put extra in mine. She put a little bit in his shit. I watched.
He can't even. What you had to drink?
Man,
You sure it was nothing in it?
Oh, it's real good.
He couldn't close it.
It's sweet as shit too.
Hey,
It's
man.
the apple pie one. Wait,
Yeah.
half of this. Did you just pour in that? Oh no, he didn't give you it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you got more than me. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
so
This is gonna be interesting.
So the second part of the we still got house. And I have the bottle. Okay. So the second
This
part,
coming.
Yay.
That's what's.
second part of my day, I went to the Two Live Fest.
And how was that? You know what? Let's back up. The Two Live Fest. What is that? Tell us.
So Luke from the Two Live crew was down here. Was brought down by the DMV house, the DMV Luke house.
Yes.
And
I know many people who attended the event. You have to tell us.
it was
From the
entertaining.
Texas.
It was entertaining ratchetness at its best.
And I missed it.
We know that
I
you're
should have
very
been there. I
upset
should
about
have.
missing
I should have been
this
there.
ratchetness.
I might have had a kid.
You probably already have kids.
No,
with
I
these.
told you I don't.
Some of those women you might have, and they didn't look very young.
They were still throwing that thing though.
That's what I'm saying.
Caught that like right.
So there was
Like you already my baby mom.
a twerk contest. The winner got $1,000. There was
Did she deserve it?
Yeah.
Good.
Always a good.
oh no,
It was some tough competition.
she won, but she didn't have the most interesting act of the twerk.
Okay. Who had the most interesting?
So the most interesting one was a young lady who twerked on White Mike's face until basically she came.
Oh, White Mike. Who is that?
Oh, well, no, he's on.
Yeah.
He is known for doing crazy things.
Yeah. Some of those things I don't condone. I've seen some of those things in real life action happen,
I mean, I've seen other movies that rise. I mean, that's his thing.
and I will never drink behind those people ever again.
Well, you shouldn't drink behind anyone, especially
But,
at this point.
I mean, at this point, this is
Because
before I'm talking about. You'll pass a bottle around. You squad. I don't even know.
I know, but even before the pandemic, you too old for that. Everybody can
Right.
pour their own bottles now.
There was
You're
a
too old
He was
for that.
passing it around.
there was a dick sucking contest, and it looked like the young lady got powerbomb. And
Oh,
she
yeah.
tried to climb up on the dude. So we
Was
went,
was there a financial prize for that?
don't think there was.
So that's the.
There was a prize.
So let's
Just
back
wasn't
up.
financial.
I said financial. That's why I said
Yeah.
financial. So let's back up a little bit. There was a financial prize. There was a monetary prize for the twerking, but not for the fellatio.
No.
You see how devalued it is. Prices ahead.
But because that would explain the theatrics if it were a monetary.
Some people just want to be extra, man.
I know, but I mean,
the
it's called doing it for clout or for the
I
likes.
mean, it's just like somebody get up on a high dive and want to get fancy and fuck up and go.
But
do a
imagine if you
cannonball.
put some money to it.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
I mean, there was supposed to be a pussy contest, but the only person named the pussy was
Mike.
and their ass.
So
I see. I've been
how
in one of
many
those before.
people total in that day did he pleasure or provide cunnilingus to?
6, 7.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Seven.
And
that's
so let me ask this question:
that's a rough night.
what is going through the mind of the sixth or seventh woman? Was it the same person at least?
No, he ate several different women, their vagina and their asshole. But that's not the craziest thing I seen that night. You know what the craziest thing I seen that night?
What was it?
After he done ate all them girls and licked all them assholes, you know what the craziest thing is?
He kissed somebody.
He kissed somebody on the cheek.
I don't need to use his mouth no more. That's just
Yeah.
So really, I'll be honest with you. The girl who won, she legitimately won. However, the girl who put on the best ending in the best show, she literally had an orgasm on White Mike's face while twerking. The girl who won, she legitimately. I don't know. That's kind of like $1,000 right there. Or they should have tied.
something.
Or they should. Well, I mean, well, she got something.
Maybe she could have got
She got an
$500.
orgasm.
You're right. Maybe
mean-
she could have got $100. $500.
I mean, you know,
I mean, that right there, I think she could have
And
really.
the girl who almost got decapitated trying to provide fellatio to a young man upside down, maybe she should have got something.
and
Yeah, she
ladies,
should have got a nigga with stronger legs.
yeah, I was about to say, ladies, that if you've seen the video, yeah, he's nice and buff up top, but the nigga skipped leg day. He looked like Chicken George.
But let's talk about the larger issue.
What that is?
What in the world is going on? This is what we do for fun. And there's still a pandemic going on. And it's just, I feel like these type of functions, and you both know what I mean, these type of functions just keep getting worse and worse. And I understand there was a event that Uncle Luke was at, so people might have been in
No
a
extra
different
freaky.
form or a different
Pop that
headspace
pussy
than
like that.
normal, which is their norm is already bad enough. I'm gonna be real with you. These pool parties have been
Yeah, it's
quite excessive.
yeah, it's kind of crazy how us coming from our generation and how things used to
nigga,
be.
they are-
People, I was gonna say these people are not young.
I know, but
And Uncle Luke is how old?
yeah, but
like-
my point is we had a different set of standards, and now it's amazing how folks that's in our age group are now conforming to what's the norm with the younger generation. It's crazy. They're supposed to be setting an example, and they're actually regressing the whole damn process.
I blame BET Uncut. Because we were the generation that watched Uncle Luke on BET Uncut.
I mean, Tip Joe was a great video.
I'm just saying, like, so I feel like this was a BET Uncut video. Real talk, think
But
about
our generation was not. Our generation was not that great either. So we can't forget, our generation had freak niggas.
Yeah,
it. Right.
no doubt.
But
no
I'm
doubt.
saying this is as a result of.
But it was always just like a special event. Now this is something that happens on a weekend basis.
Because
now.
these people,
It's the norm.
You have to understand these things were glamorized. Freaknik was glamorized. Now that things are changing in our society, it's like, oh, we can have Freaknik every weekend,
Pretty much.
and that's what they're gonna do. So,
True.
I'm not necessarily judging anybody for these behaviors.
I mean,
You
I
gonna
used
do
to be
what
the
you wanna
same
do
way,
with
so
you.
I get it.
Well, you said
In this
used to
time and
be-
day, yeah, in this time and day, you have to be more careful and can't just be putting your mouth on 6 or 7 different random women in one night. I mean, that's
You.
that's just like, asking. It's like a death wish, honestly.
Yeah, and you do have to be smart and be responsible.
But some people have. I mean,
That's
some,
why it's important to be careful.
But some people don't have the concept of being smart.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, they're okay. Like me, that couldn't have been real talk. You like to get a cheek kiss. Never let me sticking my tongue all the way down your private parts in public. Like, but he's okay.
And I can't even, it's a situation, I can't even say if he like it, I love it, because I can't say I love it. But at the end of the day, that's what people do. We understand that that's the society that we live in nowadays, where people want to one up the next person, however they can do. So like this fellatio contest, she was like, oh, that's what they doing over here? Let me do something different. It wasn't a very smart idea, but had she nailed it, she would have been in Talk of the Town. You know?
Well, she's the talk of the time, just in a bad way.
Yeah, that's what. But you see what I'm saying? So no matter what, people do these things so that they can get the likes, so they can get some type of
World Star viral movement.
yeah, and so that's what we're dealing with nowadays. Because honestly, if you think back, think about the things that happened. Like when Luke first started, we didn't have camera phones.
No, we didn't.
Okay, think about the things that happened. Freaknik, we didn't have camera phones.
A lot of people that's lucky they didn't have camera.
That's what I'm saying. So now that we have camera phones, it's a spotlight on these type of functions, and you got to be smart about it. I feel like our generation, I'm kind of surprised that we do things and are allowing people to record us because we didn't grow up like.
Who? I don't get recorded on shit.
I didn't say
Except for the
you.
show.
I said I'm surprised
Yeah.
that people are doing that are in our generation because we did not grow up that way.
So we're gonna take a quick music break, and then I got some stuff we gotta talk about. Milk Crates, Kanye West new album just dropped this morning.
Yeah.
And some other stuff. So,
We had an announcement on Drake when his
yeah, so we'll definitely talk about that. But right now, we're about to play some music. But however, so artists, when we tell you to watch the show and you've been on the show and you want to get plugged and tapped in, so DJ Nasty Nice, big friend of the show, big
Yes, sir.
we're gonna rephrase that. Big family, we call him fam.
Yeah.
More of the show.
Yeah.
He has a mixtape he's putting together. It's 25. It's 25. It's 20. Was it? Yeah, it's $25 for one slot, $40 for two slots. He's a coalition DJ, and then more like the song is hot, he's going to play it on his weekly show.
Right.
This is
He
when we
does
say
have
tap in.
his show. We know.
Yeah.
He tags me in them, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and here's the thing: we actually support each other. So we go through the show. I put in at the bar or at the bar page all the time. When I'm able to. He's actually played Renegade stuff. So this is an opportunity to get your song heard. He's a coalition DJ, and he's a real fucking DJ, and he's a coalition DJ at that. He can really mix. He can really spin. He does all that. He ain't a motherfucker that's standing behind the laptop talking about.
He's always doing something. So
Yes.
you definitely want to connect with him.
So I got the flyer up right now. And I'm gonna leave it up because I'm gonna play a couple of songs. For this music break. But definitely tap in. So here's an opportunity to get your song promoted and take it to a different level. For this music break. But definitely tap in. So don't be saying we don't provide chances for y'all.
They still gonna say.
They are. But we're doing our part. It's up to them to do their part.
No bullshit. If you don't put the money behind yourself, why you expect somebody else to?
But we're doing our part. It's up to them to do their part. Here's an exclusive joint, Renegade Legacy.
Break things on my sweater. I already know my what. Ain't even make a shadow left. They spinning left like I got enough time for revenge, but I've been no vendetta. They looking for the worst, they know I've been getting better. Always thinking baby first, press up out in the cheddar. Was wronging me, I got to my ears, been a pleasure. Cause I've been getting different type of shit with this better. Here's some evil, see the evil, ain't no telling together. A lot of shit ain't worth my time with. They push them up in their face, they don't need a medal. Give the power when you split, touching on that metal. Time ain't never give us no price, man. Ain't no way from don't think that you're not catching the scene when you're dancing with the metal. Time ain't never give us no breaks.
Y'all need to get our passports. Y'all need to come so in June next year.
This the legacy. What about this? beat my mind. They gon' be mostly me. I'm on my dog.
Future second baby mama is.
That's your second baby mama.
Future second baby mama.
Oh, you admit you got one.
Nah, both of them gonna be from there.
That's exclusive renegade shit right here, y'all.
When you talking money, I tell you what's wrong. I'm back on my mama shit, and I'm back on my
It's one of them songs, see the people clean
Yeah,
it.
but it said it ain't the uncut shit. Nah. Yeah, I know. It was free.
I know. So I'm gonna scared of moonshine.
I ain't never scared of moonshine.
Yes, you are.
I was only scared of. I was scared of. There was Atlanta movie.
We're gonna see one.
Backpack me to y'all.
They
Backpack
was
me.
Tennessee. And they don't put no water in their shit.
What?
Atlanta.
There's some in Tennessee that don't either.
I ain't had that.
I tell you what you think.
That's the guy. He knows, but he don't know the owner. Yeah.
My friends, we go down Tennessee and go to
I tell you what you think. Doing no tricks, she don't claim it. Yeah, nigga, I mean, I feel it like it's a drink.
I was going to
I tell you what you think. Yeah, she doing no tricks, she don't claim it. Nigga, I mean, yeah, I feel it like it's a drink. They go pound all out of the green. Ain't no movie my life on the screen.
That's good.
No, I'm back with these two things. I can shoot with a string. They can call my phone, let it ring. No, I'm cool with me, they gon' sting. And my bitches in pretty, she mean. At your pepper, pulling the string. Put hits in my watch, made it bling. You can hang on like she a fling. Keep a mess on my face like a spring. This shit ain't as sweet as it's thing. So I won't feel a thing. Eddie, hurt, bling, bling. I tell you what you a thing. Ready gon' bust on my chin. Yeah, she ain't doing no tricks, she don't clean. Yeah, nigga don't know what I mean. Yeah, that's what they like is a drink.
I gotta do his birthday party. I gotta come down.
Hurt.
Oh, I gotta work.
Where's the birthday party?
Tell you what you a thing. Ready gon' bust on my chin. Yeah, she ain't doing no tricks, she don't clean. Yeah, nigga don't know what I mean. Yeah, that's what they like is a
I'm
drink.
not renegade.
Pop up now, I'm on another level. Bitch, I'm gonna make a special. Call me your preacher, I'm like that, I bet. My fellas, that's when you're talking about. I'm feeling she in my company. I got my phone, cause she get what she want from me. She get her naked when she wrote a joke for me. Your body talking, get straight to the point. She got to thank for the time, the first. I get the time, it's a funny nigga, my time. He ain't no want me to find in person. I'm in so much water, I can't find.
I'm good.
So many bad things, I took all the flow in up and shit, make it take off on this jury got me
Yeah, moonshine. Hey.
Bling,
Oh, yeah. That's how potent that shit was.
Nigga don't know what I mean. I feel that life is a drink.
Pass another pouch over here. Pass another pouch over here.
Doing no tricks, she don't claim it. Nigga don't know what I mean. Yeah, I feel that life is a drink. Nigga don't know what I mean. Yeah, I swear that life was a drink.
I don't know. Guess she gonna come back. Because I'm feeling good. And about to pop this pouch. About to get crazy. Trying to get this song bitch open.
Nigga,
I can't even get it. I can't get it open.
Just pull it apart.
I know I'm trying to. I ain't trying to spill it, man. Then y'all be like, "Oh, you fucked up."
nigga, we like, you fucked up right now.
Leave me alone.
That's your heart.
I get an A for
Yo,
F.
Warfare J and Suge.
Nigga, I keep from the dirt like a fire.
Oh, you fucked up. Yeah. Warfare J.
Did we have him on before?
Huh?
Did we have him on before? Yeah.
So they talk to make that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I told you.
Nigga, see my front of that.
I'm at the top of the Put me on your track, you won't even exist. Just like Rich, I keep going in. Once I lock in it, I'm just to win. I'm like a wizard when I'm I always knew that one day I would win. Oh, you so different, they gon' think again. They counted me out, even though I again. Like a bully, just let it begin. I don't got time for a man. I'm trying to buy me a bed. Get me a house on the hill, I got time for no friends. They say I'm setting the trend. Vision my dad, I don't need me a lens. Say what you want, I just grin. I know that you ain't in this love on the end. No need to pretend. See that I'm up there, you wanna be my friend. But it's too late, cause you wasn't like that.
Literally. I appreciate the gift. No, I am not having those. I am not having those. Dude.
I think that note will be loud. Just to do. Get his partner. What is it called?
How can I lose all the desperate for this? The thing to call you up, that's the plan. Pop out of me. They said that the table is loving me in. Feed it, I hop in the plan. Fuck the beach, and I'm trying to win.
What's your name is?
I'll play another song since you
Thank you so much. It's bad.
It's fine.
I can't give you too much props, but they usually let me go see it.
Because it should be bomb bad, booty.
They need to fix you some stuff.
You know what? Don't be disrespecting myself.
So the same is better.
You're giving me the runaround.
Whatever.
You
Yes.
give me the runaround.
Gotta send me this track so I can play it on my joint too. They don't have a video for it. They don't have a video for it yet. Well, I subscribe to her channel. I be watching her joint. I'm gonna find a way to sign her, man. I'm gonna sign her, bro. I'm telling you. We're gonna be millionaires, baby. This girl got talent.
I can feel it coming up. If I say myself,
Way from New Zealand.
I can't get away from the pain. Yeah, it's the same, but I can't. You know I know. Giving me the running around. You keep on telling me you say that things will be better. It's time for another reason. You put me in the mood. You're taking my song. You're giving me the running around. You keep on telling me you couldn't be the truth set you free. And take me piece of me. You know that it has to be. Give you all this time to get your together. You feel the
Just checking the show out.
Yo, you got it about
The guy was checking the show out.
already.
Ran home. That's the dude I told you about.
Yo,
I sent him the
coming
link.
all the way from right?
Yes, sir. Worldwide, baby. Worldwide.
Come on. Please don't send me no more garbage.
We not worried about local. We want the worldwide audience.
You love hot music, but don't send me no garbage. We'll play it once and never again. Yeah, we do know South African hip hop.
One and done, baby. One and done.
Yeah,
Don't get me started.
yeah. Say it again, CP3.
One and done.
TKO, total knockout. Let's go.
I'm never gonna lose my soul. I know I'm gonna need it. It gives me peace of mind. It gets me through the hardest time.
Man, we got to get her back, man. He ain't
I'm
fine.
gonna make it.
You never got
You never
I'm just saying, we got to have her back to bring some more beverages. These motherfuckers hit.
Oh,
Yeah, her, yeah.
the run around.
You know, you work out here.
Yeah, we got to put in the stand in order. These might be part of the show for now on. Yay, no bullshit.
Say the things will be better. It's time for another dream.
Oh, you know, she did have an interview.
Give me the run around.
She did have an interview. She
Give
saying what
me
she
the run around.
It always comes when you're not here.
Yeah, she did come out. That's right.
She did have an interview. It always comes when you're not here.
Yay, yay.
I'm biased because the artists that I manage, I'm gonna play another exclusive shit.
All right.
Why not?
I'm biased. This one's some real good shit, though. Yo, this right here is Be Okay. This is what CP3 tells on the baby mom after he leaves.
Plan B, okay.
You've been under pressure. You need to slow down. People try to be about that action. You need to slow down.
Yo, big shout out to y'all today, man. Don't Capri Suns is the move.
Yo, nobody touch my Capri Suns. Nobody touch it.
And even next my granddad. Children money while you know about mouth shit, granddad. I need a ground just to sit on. Little shit, can't stand that.
Waiting for the next week.
Can't stand facts. Money on the table after 2 years.
My boyfriend is DJ. My nephew is a party.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
I
yeah.
must confess, yo. Head down, can't
So we might start a little late. We might start like
now,
this,
real niggas mate. I love you, man, I need you. Hey, I know you money so fucking right. I wanna see you go far. It's gonna be okay. When your money looking tall, it's gonna be okay. To my family, make a call. It's gonna be okay. As long as I just got it strong, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Oh, you haters.
We're gonna be okay. We gon' be okay. Talking about a bank, bro. These hoes do what I say, so all you gotta do is get a pay, bro. Stack of bricks like you got some Lego. So high that I need a
That
hang.
nigga said stack them bricks like you got Lego. Get it.
Like I got a Kango, looking at you from a different angle.
I believe you got a Kango.
Bitch bango, you not gonna tell me what I can't do. You mad nigga, cause I ain't you. Need my money sick, then Frank Blue. We talking money by lane, bro. We talking drugs, that's bingo. We all flat like emo. Got the game choke, whole string, bro. Taking these shots right off the block. I know that you miss. You talking that up. We don't give you props. You know you a snitch. If I'm on the block, I don't say a word. 40 assists. Cause I'm on the clock. I gotta get mine, but time is my rent. Gonna see you go far. It's gonna be okay. When your money looking tough, it's gonna be okay. Tell my family make a call. It's gonna be okay. As long as I just got that strong, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Nothing to you.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Seems like a happy morning.
Build the cross the back or something. I call that the It's gonna be okay.
Yo.
I love them violins.
Violin.
I love them
Shit,
violins,
right?
bro. I love them violins, man. I love putting violins in my beats too, man.
Of course you do, because you're a sensitive though.
Yes. You know, you need that sensitive violin stroke sometimes.
Wait,
You know,
what?
a good stroke every now and again. You know,
What?
it's good for the soul.
Where are you going with this?
Take it how you want.
When it comes to you saying certain things, I have to ask questions.
I mean,
Yeah. So I was just looking on Complex. So before we talk about the whole Kanye stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Candyman becomes the first film directed by a black woman to top the U.S. box office, grossing $22.3 million.
Yep.
I've heard some mixed reviews.
It's for the
I've heard
culture.
mixed reviews, but at the same time, we can't ignore the accomplishments.
Oh, no doubt. No
And
doubt.
it's for the culture.
And
That's
one thing we have to stop doing that, because as soon as we praise a person, we do shoot. You know, it is in our DNA. We kind of shoot them down without saying congratulations first. I've heard mixed reviews who, at the same time, I can't ignore the
No
accomplishment
doubt.
of a black woman.
$22
making
million.
no stride.
correct.
That's
And
nice.
honestly, I've never been a big Candyman, fan. I
I
wasn't.
never seen it first.
I like what?
Yeah.
For real?
That wasn't my thing, real talk. But
I just know you would have seen that.
I feel like Candyman.
No, I'm just saying because you like the horror movies, so I figured you would,
For me?
Yeah, I really didn't you say you like the horror movies?
I didn't say that, but horror movies aren't like really my thing. Because it's just I'm sitting there the whole time feeling kind of bored. It doesn't scare me.
Mm.
It's not all that entertaining to me. I'd rather see things blow up and people fighting, like action.
I'm kind of the same.
I'm more of
thing
an
now.
action movie. However, I will say this: I remember when Candyman came out in '92.
And everybody
Yeah.
was afraid.
Yes,
I wouldn't
everybody.
say that shit in the mirror. I still won't say
I
that shit in the
wouldn't,
mirror.
because my friends did that. So like even though I did see the movie, I did see the first one. I think maybe once. And I was just like, okay. What was scarier to me was my friends saying Candyman or saying Bloody Mary.
That's the
in
thing.
mirror.
What I did like about it was, as a child, the
Yeah.
Bloody Mary.
Mhm.
I think we did it once, and I never seen it. So like, shit.
I never saw it either, but I mean, it's
But I
when
wasn't
you're
really
young
looking for it.
and people are doing that, you're like, wait a minute.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Right.
Y'all messing
And,
around with some
and
stuff.
that's the
Niggas said that
thing.
shit 5 times, and see how many niggas leave the room.
Right. And that's
By the second
thing.
time you say it, I'm gone.
And these little young kids nowadays, they about to do these Candyman challenges. People our age is like, nah, bruh.
Man, you
how
do
about
that shit. Don't do that shit in my house.
Don't
Mama
right.
gonna put 'em out. Do that shit in somebody else's house. You ain't gonna do that in my
Nah,
house.
we won't do that. We won't do that around these parts.
But I do like to salute the Queen for 2020 with $22.3 million.
That's
Yeah.
what's
For a
up.
horror movie and for a rated R movie in a pandemic
Yep.
is amazing.
That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
saw the trailer, and it, like I say, I'm old school, so I always like the originals. and it takes a different turn from the original, from what I saw in the trailer. So that's why I was just saying it had mixed reviews. Some people said that it was a good twist on it. Some folks, I guess, like myself, like the original, were probably upset because it didn't go more into the detail of the original. But they said it was going to be more of a background to the Candyman,
Right,
and a lot
but
of
it
folks don't
can't be
understand.
just like the same, because then people are gonna complain like we even seen this.
No, they're going to
already.
complain
I mean,
anyway.
it goes to be like I remember several years ago, they tried to reboot Nightmare on Elm Street, and it just didn't work because it just it wasn't even it's barely entertaining.
Yeah.
Right.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street, like I actually saw one night because I couldn't sleep, and that shit made me not sleep even more.
Yeah.
Like, but it was actually fucking scary when it came out.
Right.
But not all horror movies are gonna have that type of effect.
And there are so many horror movies that are out that are really only suspense. They're not really horror.
Yeah,
It's more of a suspense movie. We need horror movies to make a.
but there's really nothing else you can do in the genre. They
But
pretty much did
the
everything.
thing about Candyman is like it's very few black horror movies.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
You know.
Because I mean, what else do we have?
Bones.
And
With Snoop Dogg. At
Tales from the Hood.
Least Tales from the Hood was entertaining.
Okay, it is so politically incorrect, but I felt like the funniest part of Tales from the Hood was when them little dolls came and he called them little nigglets. When I was young,
That was hilarious.
I
Still
died
hilarious
laughing.
now when you say
When it first came out, I died laughing. And of course, when you fast forward to today, you can't put something like that in a movie.
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
You laugh too.
no, I've only seen the movie a couple of
With
times.
Tales from the Hood.
Yeah, and somebody on one of my social media posts one time, when I posted with my niece and nephew, someone that was racist, I had no idea, said I had a lot of nigglets,
Oh,
and I was wondering where they got. I was like, I was blown, but I was still impressed. I was like, how did they come up with that?
no, because it was in the movie.
It was in the movie.
That's
okay.
that's something that is old,
Yeah.
and even before the movie, I'm sure that word has been
Yeah.
used
Well, now I
many
don't feel
times
as, now I don't
before.
feel as bad for we pulled up on his ass. Okay.
I mean, there's also what was that other movie? Get Out. I guess was supposed to be a horror.
But that was more of a suspense.
Suspense movie.
It wasn't really.
I still haven't seen that yet.
I saw it
I wasn't-
once, and it was way after everybody else saw it. And I
I
was
saw
like,
it, but the thing about it was for me when I saw it,
Mhm.
so everybody hyped it up.
right,
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
So when I saw it, it didn't live up to the hype. It was okay,
right,
but it didn't live up to the hype that that people were making it out to.
right.
be.
That's
Once
how I
again,
felt.
and it didn't live up to the hype. I was and same thing what you just said. When that movie came out, I thought the same thing, and I was like, damn, you know what? Before I said congratulations to the black director, I was tearing the movie down.
So I said congratulations before I even saw it. That's how I am, and even with Candyman, I may never see this movie.
But congratulations.
Congratulations, because that is an accomplishment. That is a I like those type of stats first before I even address how the movie was. Like when people were talking about Black Panther, all the stuff I said positive. Now I did see Black Panther like the night it came out, but all the stuff that I spoke on, and when it comes to certain Black movies that set these records and you have amazing stats from, I don't even have to talk about what the movie's about, because to me, sometimes it's not about what the movie's about. It's the fact that it's successful.
Yes.
Like Beyonce's Black is King.
Yeah.
I didn't see that thing until a year after it was out, because I was not really impressed. But however, the fact that she pulled in all these different people to do this production,
Yeah.
you know, I was happy for that.
So one of the things is I want to expand on what you just said. That's why I love the show, because we have these weird topics and we just did that. It starts with one thing and it goes to something
Right.
totally different. Because what I'm about to tell you is what made me watch The Lion King was when they started to say, when I watched behind the scenes. First of all, in this very place, my nieces and sisters and all young, they watched that shit. And I was like, I ain't watching this shit with them. Fuck out of here. And then one day I watched the making of The Lion King. And then I saw James Earl Jones being in it, Whoopi Goldberg being in it, Jason Weaver being in it, all these characters
These
and
black people.
yes, and then I realized the importance of the Lion King.
Yes, because when it comes to Disney movies at that time, there was no representation
No, it wasn't.
in Disney. So even though The Lion King was animals, a lot of people had issues with that too.
Yeah.
The first representation for black people and Disney was The Lion King, believe it or not.
Yes.
Um,
that is true.
So a lot of people had issue with that. But when you take a step back, that means Disney employed how many black people for this movie?
Yeah.
And that was one of the best selling. And then they had a Lion King 1.5, Lion King 2. So
I mean,
three movies.
There was, you gotta think about it. They had James Earl Jones in there.
And that was one of his most iconic.
Yo, Mufasa, he's still Mufasa. No one's ever gonna do
I
it.
still quote certain things from The Lion King. Like for real.
People still quote. When we talk about the circle of life, that's from the Lion King.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's where it became popular. And then you had Elton John. Elton John sang The Circle of Life.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, Sir Elton John.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
I can't expect people to respect my title as lady, which is a real title. I'm not just saying I'm lady. But I can't expect people to respect that, and I can't give Sir Elton John, who was knighted by the Queen.
Yeah, sometimes having titles, ain't really that cool. I get,
But you give people their respect. Like if I got my doctorate, you best believe I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, that's doctor.
some of the titles that I got, I don't like.
You know what?
You deserve those titles.
We're not talking about.
Let's go back to the line.
Because you a whole nother story.
I'm just saying. The whole
Now-
title.
You just saying.
I'm just saying.
Five.
You know,
That's.
Just saying
behind that.
some titles don't need to be had.
Okay.
But we not talking about that.
I'm just saying. I'm just making an observation. That's all.
We talking about actual titles.
Yeah,
you know? Not just what somebody calls
Labels,
Because of your action.
labels, titles.
No,
it's
different.
it's a
Big
thin,
difference.
it's a thin line between.
No.
that, man.
No.
I feel persecuted up here.
No, you did it. You brought. Ain't nobody has to bring up your little titles or
Now, when we're talking
labels.
about titles and labels, when somebody starts talking
I
about titles,
said Sir Elton
I'm
John.
just saying,
So
but
the
then,
lady let's get back to what you were saying.
Because this one over here don't know how to act.
I'm just saying, man.
And he
That's
know we
every
was gonna
show.
say
That's
something.
every show.
Let's talk about I feel persecuted.
Yeah, I do.
You should. Because
Sometimes-
you persecuted yourself.
Sometimes you don't need the title.
You-
Titles
you-
don't mean anything.
You fed yourself the vinegar.
I'm just saying,
Oh Lord.
we don't need titles.
CP3, can you calm down there?
I'm just having a moment, man.
Clearly. You created the moment, had the moment,
Hey, man,
and we here to tell you that that moment was not needed.
it's in the pouch.
It's in the pouch.
It's in the pouch.
You can't have no more. It ain't even the moonshine that got you here.
Name of
You
the pouch.
drank this so fast. Lord.
Oh.
That's bad. You know when you drink the alcohol fast, that's oh my goodness.
Feeling
Nah,
good.
okay.
I told you, see.
I'm gonna tell y'all right
That's
now.
why I gave him the cup like I did. I
Help
told you.
me. Okay.
Hey.
Where's Sade? Where is she? We need to.
She at work right now.
Oh, okay. Because I need to talk to her because she done did something bad.
I know she done started some stuff.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think I'm
I
becoming
am one by
immune.
one.
Right, but y'all just, at least with me, I'm just like.
I mean, you're in your first house.
That's what I'm saying. We done had her over here 2 times since
I'm
you
on my
been
like
here.
6.
Yeah, it's like
But
number
I'm
5 for
sitting
me.
here so I can behave and I can have, actual conversation. Y'all about to get toe out.
Hey,
I'm done.
I'm still drinking.
That's still some moonshine. I ain't done.
See, this is about to be one of them shows.
Me ain't got to the crate yet, so I'll pay another story.
Oh yeah, that shit.
Have y'all
Yeah.
seen my post?
We're gonna talk about it.
These people.
We're gonna talk about that. So let's wrap up with the
Yes.
with the
Candyman, Lion King, all of this. Look, support your black artists. Support your black actors, actresses, stagehands. Support everybody. Cameramans, everything. And we brought up Disney. Disney has come a long way,
They have.
and
They
now
still, they still have ways to go.
well, here's the thing with that. Disney does have a long way to go because they've been known to be a racist company, honestly. Even in regards to their
Princess.
shows. Well, not even just princess, their shows. Their shows that these kids watch on a regular basis.
There are several Disney cartoons that have been banned. They can't be played because it was Disney when they originally came out. The depiction of black people
Yeah.
was very, very racist.
They had mammies and everything.
Yeah,
else in it.
there's a couple of Mickey Mouse cartoons. MICK. Oh, yeah, motherfuckers want to go to Disneyland. There's a couple of cartoons that you'll never see. Because it's been banned. You can't even find them shit on YouTube.
Well, it's not just Disney.
Yeah,
Because
that was
Warner
the way it
Brothers
was.
Yeah,
and even Tom and Jerry.
yeah.
Tom and Jerry.
They had to take Mammy up. Something had a Mammy.
Yeah. She was technically the housekeeper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You used to see the big legs.
Yeah, the bloomers on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
would remember the
You like
bloomers.
these bloomers, huh?
sometimes there's some nice things in them bloomers, man. It's
And then
hard
let's
to-
not forget Pepe Le Pew. He didn't got canceled.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
sexual.
yeah,
That's sexual predator.
But I mean, we're saying like these things, the culture has come a long way. But Disney, when their accusation of they acquired Marvel, and Marvel has always been very diverse. And even up until today, when you look at Marvel, I know a lot of black, my cousin is one of them, but a lot of black actors and actresses that are employed because of Marvel Studios.
So, rest in peace, Stan Lee.
Indeed.
The whole X-Men dynamic is based off of
Martin.
the black culture.
Martin
Professor
and-
X
no.
is actually Martin Luther King.
Indeed.
Magneto is Malcolm X.
Yep.
Those are how he based with those characters off of.
And he was trying to introduce that concept and shed light on the concept to people who were not really receptive of the problem.
Yes.
So he displayed mutants and humanized them so that
That
people
was his way
would
of
love those characters.
Yes,
And-
and that was his way of tackling the whole issue of racism and stuff like that. And I loved X-Men because it related so much to me. And also, people don't even realize, the second leader of the X-Men was Storm, who was a female from Africa. She was referred to as the goddess. She was a strong female character.
Who used to be married to the Kang. The Kang of Wakanda. Yeah, I say Kang like that.
I never knew. See, I
Yeah.
learned
She
so
was
much.
married to
At one point, she
T'Challa.
got a child. And also, Black Panther was created, right? It's given in his name. He was created after the Black Panther movement. And Stan Lee wanted to make him a king to show he's intellectually as smart as Tony Stark. He has
Money.
He has more money than Tony Stark. He's smart as Tony Stark, but let me rephrase that. He's as smart as Tony Stark and Reed Richards,
And
who is
that-
Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four.
right.
And he's as agile as Captain America.
But at the same time, it also shed light on the fact that what we know, what we're given, the information that we're given about Africa, especially over the years, is not really what Africa is.
Exactly.
We've constantly been fed from the media in some way, shape, or form that Africa is a poor country. And it shed light on the fact that Africa is rich in resources. Africa is not all that we think it is. I know some people that have come from Africa to the US and they're letting me know it is not bug one of our kids that are starving.
Yeah.
Don't laugh. I know I
Because-
explained some things. a
No,
little
no,
different.
I'm thinking about something
because that's the image that I have of Africa for a very long time.
Right, and that's
And
not right.
and
That's not how they are.
and I got that from watching white people TV because the little lady that was the daughter of All in the Family, it was like she ate a couple of kids. She had the infomercial.
For
Suzanne
25
Summer.
cents, you can
Not
feed
Suzanne
a
Summer.
child.
She was on some.
Nah.
What is Suzanne on some of them?
No, it was I forgot the lady's name, but it looked like she ate a couple of kids. From All in the Family.
But who was the?
Sally something.
Oh,
Was it South? No, not Sally Struthers.
Struthers.
No, not Sally
That
Struthers.
might be her.
No, that was it. She's not really a famous.
But she did the commercials, and it was always feed the children, feed
Yeah.
this, and
in Africa
yo,
for 25 cents a day.
Yeah, and for 25 cents a day, you can feed these kids, and it made it seem like Africa's a poor country.
And actually, 25 cents was later on. I think at first it was like 5 cents.
Yeah,
Like that. And I'm like, where are these kids at?
but they had these commercials when I was a kid.
Yep.
And also to a team, like it made it seem like, so my depiction of going to Africa
What's that?
was that they would show the kids they be skinny with the big belly, and they was like their belly is big because it's filled with air. You know, these children had
They're
to walk for clean water and all this other stuff. There are
No,
people
there
that,
are people like let's be real. There are situations like that in Africa.
there are situations like that in America.
Correct. But that's the thing. All of Africa is not that.
And that is so right, because all of America is not great. Flint, Michigan still has dirty water from 6 years ago.
But at the same
doubt.
time, what they receive in Africa about us is the ratchetness, the violence, the ratchetness about Black Americans. And we talked about this many times before, because that is part of a plan
Yes, keep it
to
separate.
divide. So you have, once you acknowledge that and enlighten yourself, you'll look at these situations a little different. But I will say that I do like to support not just Black businesses, but things that uplift the Black culture, even in Africa, because I love me a good Nollywood movie. And I've already explained to you guys, I am all about, yes, the Caribbean when it comes to music, but like we said in another show, I'm well aware of these Afro beats and the culture
Yes,
of hip hop
yes.
in
And
Africa
a little trash ass music.
and South Africa, the good ones, okay? And I do not mind blasting the bad
And
ones.
they consider me the bad one.
That
Huh?
shit was trash.
And y'all say I'm the bad one, and y'all still
Well, that
trash.
day,
Oh, wait.
let me be real with you. That day, I specifically said, I looked at both of y'all in amazement, and I said, y'all gonna leave me to be the bad one.
He's from a different
I
country.
don't
That shit was
care.
trash.
You know.
When I know the culture, and like I
That
said,
shit was trash.
I know that the crack was
African
trash. I'm
culture-
not disputing that.
Yeah, but African culture, I love it. I embrace it. The music, the colors, everything. I embrace all of it. And when you contact this show saying that, oh, we need the research and this and that, okay, cool, because I've already done that. That what you about to give us, and you are a representation. This is an American show. You are a representation of your country, your culture, and you submit that, I'm a blast you.
So we didn't leave you to be the bad guy. This is what it is. This is what it is. You're more well diverse in certain areas of music than most.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Afro beats.
So
We gotta look into DeVito after this.
So when we tell you, so we gonna say what we gonna say. However, he set himself up for failure by proclaiming we didn't know nothing. When we have a 3-person panel, you may see 2 people because y'all don't see them. Y'all don't need to see them. I'm trying to see the internet radio.
You doing hefty commercials too, dog?
Yeah,
What?
but
We shouldn't speak of that.
But when you say that thing and you don't know the history of the panel of what we do, and then we have a person who's well diverse in it. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had tracks. I played tracks on when I was doing True Radio, in a whole different language I couldn't even understand, but it's not.
Right.
But when you come across so arrogant and so belligerent, and then you have a person who actually knows what you're talking about, and then you didn't give none of the shit that you were saying, well, then you're gonna kind of deserve what you get.
I did not being a bad guy.
See, I've turned
Like,
over.
to be honest, he lucky I played the whole fucking track. and I didn't cut it off and just say, yo, this
Because
shit's
I was
garbage.
about to, if it didn't end, I was about to be like, we need to cut that.
See,
Because
this
I was getting tired.
This
of it.
is how I turned over a whole new leaf.
And I'm gonna be real with you. I have spoken to a couple people who watched that show.
And they said it was trash.
They said the same thing. And they said they were laughing at me because I was very blunt and honest. But at the end of the day, they said you were right.
Yeah.
Crush that man's hopes. And
I don't
Yeah,
care.
well, first of
needed
all,
to hear
if he
it.
had hopes and dreams, he should never release that track.
But here's my thing. He
It wasn't
needed
even
to
fucking
hear
mixed
it.
right.
He needed to hear it. You're right. The mix was horrible.
I mean,
You know, the whole night. And for you to come and say, well, y'all need to research. Oh,
No, you need to make better fucking
he
music.
needed to research.
you know how some Africans have that arrogance.
I don't give a fuck.
Guess what?
See, we're talking about one of my.
But here's the
client
thing:
bases.
when I know that excellence can be produced from that area,
Mhm.
and you give me something that is so far away from that excellence that I know can come of that area, then we're gonna have a problem.
If
Like
you
you
tell
said,
me
he might have had somebody told him that shit
CP3,
was hot.
CP3,
Well, I won't be the
CP3.
one.
Real talk. If you tell me that you're great, you like, I'm the greatest thing ever. Play me. And then I keep talking, and you tell me again, I'm the greatest thing ever. Play me. And I keep talking. Then finally, when I fucking play you and you don't give me the greatest thing ever, it's gonna be a fucking problem.
He's the greatest to himself, man. That's all.
He's not the
Himself.
greatest.
He
He's
should
not
have
even
kept
greatest in
it
the
to
South.
himself. He should have kept it to. Let me. So.
It never fails. Somebody calling somebody doing the show.
Nah, I was messing. So I was like, and I looked at you.
No, I'm good. I ain't got nothing to worry about. I told you I got a clear
In the middle of
conscience.
Clear conscience.
I ain't got nothing to worry about. I ain't got no baby mamas out there that I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
of.
do you have other people that might call?
I mean, I'm sure I will. Yeah, I would.
What?
But
Stumbling over this sentence.
yeah, because I mean, I have a past. I've done some things. Some people might not like me for some of the things that I've done in my past, and I've apologized. They might not thought I was sincere, but I try to make amends for the person I used to be.
Okay.
All we can do is try to grow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I told you I'm turning over a new leaf.
Thank
I'm not all about confrontation and, being vindictive and on to get back. Sometimes you just gotta let stuff go.
you. I'm glad to hear that. I think
Yeah.
it's the pouch talking, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I do want to let everyone know
Mhm.
that's watching, those that want to submit their music, things like that. You have a panel of 3 people. We have different perspectives on music. However, we do have a perspective. We are, when you add all 3 of us together, hey, you got a wide range of things that we have already come in contact with and know of. Me, I grew up in a musical family of all different types. First of all, I'm diverse as far as my background.
Jackson 6.
Shut up. Don't think that I am your typical American girl. You run my DNA, you gonna get confused. Okay?
She carries 9, y'all.
Whatever. But with that said, I have a very rich cultural background, and I like to. I still have connections to different roots in my ancestry, and because of that, I also know the culture. I like music from all over the world, different types of music, things that you might not expect. With that said, because I'm well versed in these different genres of music, you can come to me with something from another country, and I'm gonna give you the real. So, please, I'm gonna put that out there because we do have people watching.
So we
all
do.
over the
So,
world.
one, I used to be an MC. I used to be a producer. I used to be a promoter. I'm a podcaster. I'm a manager. I deal with young artists. I deal with older artists. I help groom artists, and put you in the right spot. This is what I've been doing since I was 16. I'm way past 16 at this point in my life.
Look, I have concerts in my basement pre-pandemic, but
Yeah.
I gotta show y'all the video, but I have I have a bunch of musical instruments. Just go to my basement and when things get a little better, we can put all of that together and do that. But I need people to understand
that
that
we're not
you-
coming from an avenue of hate.
Right.
If we have to criticize, we're coming from after this is what we hear, this is the sound, this is what it is. And your background CP3 real quick. Talking to the mic.
I'm just saying, you know, I understand the
Oh,
difference.
Scott sign it for him when he drink. Because he be all over here.
I'm leaning a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning a little bit, you know. But, you know, I come from a background, you know, making beats, producing beats, and not trying to condone his behavior. But, you know, some folks don't know what good music is until someone tells them that it's not good music, that what they're doing. And I mean, it's the truth. Just like, never mind, I'm not gonna go there. We was about to take a real wild turn.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
I
felt
restrained.
like I knew where that was going, but I'm just, you know.
I turned over. I told you I didn't go there.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's for right now. What else you about to drink?
I don't know. I'm about to looking
Exactly.
around now. What else you got in the cupboard?
Go ahead,
But,
get that out before you go drink more. Don't point that Julia. He's about to tell you
What's over there?
He's about to tell you what's in the bar. Like, no.
But I mean, like I said, I'm not schooled in the Afro beats or whatever. You know, I have a very, I'm not gonna say limited flow right now, but it's certain stuff that I just won't listen to. So I'm just
But
saying.
for you, your aspect is the beats. I noticed that no matter where we get our music from, you always looking
Focus
for
on the
listening
beats,
to
yeah.
And that beat was
Oh, that's why I was trying to be non-abrasive.
you guys were trying to be politically correct.
I was being chill. I mean, we politely said it was trash. Like I said, I
That
mean,
shit was trash.
I mean it
Yo, it
was.
was so nice. I was disappointed.
I mean, I was just saying, like, you hyped it up and you produced that. I'm like, I wanted to say you need to go reevaluate some things in your life right now. But I was like, you know, it could have been better. That's all I had to say.
I
But,
told
He
him,
could've not been.
I told
Yeah.
that man he was a bad representation of his country.
He was.
That's kind of, you know, severe, but
And then he
that's how
put
I
was
felt.
fat too.
But the reason why I felt that way is because he brought his country into it. You know,
see if something get blown up because of Africa.
don't do that.
Look at you,
Don't do that.
Lady Antoinette.
And I do want to say, we did on Thursday, since you was talking about it. On Thursday, there was a bombing in Afghanistan that killed quite a few service members. So I do want to say rest in peace to Maxton. He was at one point stationed in Guam, a family there. So a lot of my family members are mourning his loss. They knew him personally. He was the only Navy serviceman killed. So thoughts and prayers to all those that were killed, injured, or affected by the bombing in Afghanistan. It's going down.
This is a complicated subject right now. Not speaking about the bombing at the airports, but the whole Afghanistan situation with, you know, Biden pulling the troops out, contingent upon the agreement that was made before he even came in office. We saw a similar thing when Obama was in office, and they gave that payment to India, I believe, that was already in the works that he had nothing to do with because George Bush had signed that in the works.
Right.
It just happened to come down when he was in office.
Correct.
And
Which I
it's,
felt like was by design.
yeah, so I mean, it is what it is, but this whole situation is just, it's frustrating is I guess the best way to put it, because I can't even get the words right now because it's frustrating to see that they're trying to politicize and blame him for what's going on right now. Well, this goes back decades, not just to the early 2000s. We're talking about going back to the 1980s when Ronald Reagan backed the Taliban because they were going to war with Russia, and they wanted Russia to feel the same effects the United States felt when they went to war with Vietnam and take the casualties and you know, all the stuff that went through.
And it backfired.
And it backfired. And this is what America does.
Over and over again.
Yes, they get behind somebody because they feel like at the time that they're right, that this is what needs to be done. They fund them, expect them to do what they want them to do, and once things, deviate, or they see that the Americans are just using them for whatever reasons, or
And they strike back.
political reasons, they get a mind of their own and decide to start doing things on their own. And sorry, God, God forbid folks losing their lives, but they decide to strike back in a so-called terrorist fashion to try to, get their point across, because we know how stubborn America is when it comes to things that rub them the wrong way, i.e. police brutality, racial inequality, and injustice, that they turn a blind eye to it. So just like when the riots happened in the black community, unfortunately, these folks escalated to a whole nother level with terrorism. But this is a bed that they know that they lied in when they first signed up with them in the beginning. So
They knew they were a radical group.
exactly. So now the things have diverged because America thinks that they know all and they always right and they know what's going to happen. They figured out they figured that they could, keep these third world folks in line, and they don't realize how dedicated they are to their cause. And now that it's biting America in the ass, they want to play victim, like, woe is me, they're attacking us for our freedoms. No, they're attacking us because all the double talking bullshit that y'all fed them over the last 40 years, and now it's coming to fruition. Just like in Central America when all the migrants were coming here because of the armies and the cartels killing everybody. Because you think about it, back in the 70s, America was funding the cartels because they was getting fruit and other things down there at a cheap rate. Being the capitalist society that we are, it's always about the mighty dollar, not about the people. And then when the people decide to say, hey, we're going to the place where they've been funding these folks, is running us out of our own place because, hey, this is supposed to be the greatest place on the planet.
And people think that.
And exactly,
The whole country.
it's a false,
the whole world
it's a
thinks
false
that.
narrative that's been fed forever.
There are a lot of Americans trying to leave,
There,
and there are a lot of people trying to come into America because they think that this will provide them a better life.
This-
And then when they get here,
I mean, you
they find
can.
out other than that.
You can, if you know the loopholes and how to play the game. Some do. Some, foreign folks, some immigrants, they know how to play it, or they adapt to the game and find a way to be successful at it, which I'm not hating on. It's a hustle. Life is a hustle, and if you can find a way to get that hustle, it is what it is. I don't ever hate on no culture, race, creed, sexual orientation. If you find a way to make it work and work the system and find a way to get it done, I take my hat off to you, because
Right.
you motherfucking right. I'm trying to work the system however way I can.
But you know what's really sad is that we some of us know the cause of what's going on. But the innocent, it really bothers me because you have people that are over there in Afghanistan. They were promised certain things. They were saying, what they were promised, help America by doing X, Y, Z. We'll protect you, we'll do this. They were left out to dry. And that was by design if you read the paperwork.
We should have never even been there.
Don't get
It's
me
not a
started
police
on it.
situation that we have nothing to do.
Don't get me started on
But
that.
that's what I'm saying. So then once you get there, do right by the people that helped you. And then
Hold on,
one
hold
of the
on,
servicemen,
hold on. You're asking America
that's what I'm saying.
to
That's
do
the problem.
right by citizens that aren't their own, and they
No,
don't
no,
do
no,
it
no,
to their own
no, no, no.
citizens.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not asking America to do anything. I'm making a statement. That's
No.
what you're supposed to do.
No,
Whether or not they did it or not, we already got the answer to that. We know they're not doing it.
no doubt.
But on top of that, one thing that really hit home to that, one of the servicemen who passed away was 20.
Mm.
On 9/11, he was a newborn on 9/11. I have a daughter that I was pregnant with on 9/11. She'll be 20 this year. That hit home to me because this young man died as a direct result, because the reason why the U.S. was there was a result of 9/11. He died as a direct result of something that happened when he was a newborn. That hit home. That's messed up. And until our lawmakers can truly grasp that concept, It's not going to change. We're just going to keep repeating the cycle because let's be real, we have dealt with this before. This country we've dealt with things like this before. And we are at the age that we have seen numerous times how our country has repeated the same thing. When are they going to learn? And even a little before us, you know, I mean, none of us really remember the stuff that happened in the Vietnam War. But when you read up on it and you see what happened then, and then remember peace in the Middle East?
Who says it's about learning though?
What I'm saying, when you learn about the events that happened during that time and you kind of dissect it and you look at what happened after and then again, this is constant. And this is just in our lifetime.
I mean, yeah.
That's a mention before.
I mean, you can go, like I said, in our lifetime. Remember the guy Saddam Hussein?
Yeah.
Who America demonized and said, you know, he's gassing his own people and all that.
And then we were led to believe once he dies, everything will be fine.
No, see, the whole thing was.
That was Big Bush.
Yeah, Saddam didn't want to conform to the American policies because he knew the end game about the oil over there. He was a smart businessman. So Bush's advisors even told him, if you take Saddam out, it will destabilize the whole region, because even though he is killing some of his own people for some selfish reasons, he's keeping that region intact. He's killing a terrorist that's not reaching over here that wants to do us harm, because he knows what that's going to do for his cause.
Like I said, we were told once he dies, everything's going to be wonderful.
No, it was all about the Bushes having oil over there. That's the underlying thing that nobody talks. That's why I say this is deeper than just some political bullshit for these, you know, right wingers and left winger crybabies to whine about. If you really want to talk about the issue, you got to delve into what this country is really about and get that America the Great bullshit out your head. America is a two-faced whore. She will suck you and fuck you one minute and burn you the next motherfucking day.
I want to state, disclaimer.
I'm just saying. These are my thoughts.
Those are CP3s.
These are my thoughts and views on this subject.
That is not the review of At the Bar Radio as a whole. These are CP3s.
Because it's me. We was about to get real, dog.
No, we was
about to get to the root cause of this shit, man. I'm tired. Okay. You speaking about the innocent folks that's dying because of this bullshit.
Yes, right. And I made a statement.
And we got to get to the root cause of why these folks are dying.
To the root cause has nothing to do with what you said.
See, man, this is why nothing's ever going to get solved.
Sade, look what you done did, girl.
It's the rum punch, man. It makes the truth come out, baby. We're going to talk about this shit.
Oh my God.
This is real shit.
This is real bad.
We about to go to a Gunman #2 debut, aka
they're trying to censor me. Trying to take me off the air. I'm spitting that real facts.
Keep us on the air.
I'm talking about them. That's why y'all stopping me, because y'all know what's going to happen when I'm speaking the truth.
Are we still on air?
I'm about to change it.
Let's make sure I know black SUV.
The devil is alive.
I'm about to change it.
Did you put the mic? Yeah. This one you can't handle.
I got a hot something else.
You know what?
It was about to get real. It was about to go viral, baby. We was about to shut down the world. Money. I need to spit that real shit.
You don't really want to play. Money is what I'm talking about. You know what you ain't talking about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money is what I'm talking about. You don't really know what you always been talking about. You don't be the one who really talk about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money is what I'm talking about. Wanna make you shut him off. Never talk about it if you never had the club. You don't know what to say. Stay out of my way. Money, make you shut him off. Keep playing with the good spot, boy, I had to make the call. Stay down so you baby boy, if you give a fuck. A lot of niggas be flat. You really got it down. Sweet and got it every morning, nigga, what you talking about?
Did you see her yesterday?
Screaming, oh my God, money got me crying.
How's her condition? Okay. It's getting real out here. Real.
Money.
Taking a different route.
Use all my case. Use all my face.
We gotta talk about this fake beef.
This what?
This fake rap beef. You know about that beef? And Kanye and Drake beef.
You really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money is what I'm talking about.
And then I feel like it's a Floyd album.
Ye changing his name to Ye Kanye.
You don't really want to play.
And they said that him and Kim back talking.
Kim Nick's back talking.
It's what I'm talking
They
about.
might talking, but Kim,
You never cross me.
I still want to hear Kim.
she was dating Van from CNN.
Talk about me. You better
For real?
Van Jump.
It's really afford it. I'm winning, I'm winning.
She trying to get off political now. That's a better look for her.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying for him, his cornball ass.
Well, no, it's corny as shit, though.
So independent, my money be cool.
He was throwing
He
up.
put on an act. He put on an act. Damn, put on an act.
Yeah, I could tell sometimes maybe on it.
When he be getting mad.
He want to be like, motherfucker.
Right.
We'll be back to this person.
But sometimes when he giving his little speeches, Stan be going in, and I'm like, oh, what you about to say, bro? Keep it together. Especially when it came to Trump. Oh,
I
man.
can see him go off a couple of times.
Oh,
I've been
man.
coming to the table over.
Yeah, if the table wasn't like a heavy, you know, like the little studio, then I think he probably would have flipped it a couple times. See, I be talking about me being
It ain't my fault. You don't blame me and shit, see?
You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money is what I'm talking about.
Did you get in your short rib?
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I'm gonna take some home. Actually, he's not pronounced.
You don't really want to play.
You don't know what to say.
It's money.
You on that shit?
There you go.
He's already. My mom told me to tell me the same thing.
Same exact thing. But at least they letting you know. Oh, there's something I was gonna send y'all. Hope I took it.
Tired of being broke, man.
Me too, man.
Look at what I just sent y'all. You can find the stuff that go on in my other inbox. You hear me? I just sent y'all stuff that go on in my other inbox. You know, the one that Facebook blocks.
Hey, 188. Yeah, he go like, one day she's gonna say good morning back, and I'm going to be ready when she does.
Yes, that number was right. 188. What? He got snapped his back.
After two times, I'm done.
times. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Like, good morning. What? Good. All right. Well, fuck it then.
Really persistent and bombs.
First thing is, I go back like, oh,
But it's in my inbox that, because we're not friends on Facebook, that I can't even see. Because me and you used to be friends a long time ago, but because the stuff he was putting on my page, I blocked him. So he created a new page, and it's reaching out to me on the new page, but because I'm not friends with him on the new page, it's sending him to that other box, you know, that Facebook don't really show you.
To be bro.
On my dick, the army for some flex, bust down a big old X. I bought my big flex, and you came out through two packs. Cause now I can't flex. I do this for any nigga who make it up to the checks. If you complain, then please don't hit my phone. I'm dealing with shit on my own. I'm trying to keep it back straight, bro. Nigga, love the grip tank. I'm so tired of
Oh, about the trip.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the air, but you can't do, I get mad. It's kind of difficult for me to.
I feel you.
I'm gonna go ahead and like it, but.
I hate being broke.
Okay, we're back.
All right.
So I know we probably, you know, my phone rang twice. I have a family member that's in the hospital. So I know we probably. And at the same time, I got some weird ass people texting me about I want something. They're gonna keep texting me, and I'm gonna start sending inappropriate pictures.
That's what I do.
But keep my cousin Wanya in prayer. She just went to the hospital.
Indeed.
Praise up, dog.
We're back. They had to stop CP3 from going on a rant. They could have put off.
I had a drink to chill out, they say, but that's not that type of show tonight. So I was like, all right,
We would like to stay on air.
I'm just saying, the real needs to be talked about. It's a CO conspiracy going on, man. Need to expose that shit.
All right, huh?
I'm gonna leave it alone.
All right, Sugarfoot.
So we can stay on the air. They already suppressing our views as is.
Oh my gosh. He gonna be
I'm just saying. I mean, what? That's all they can do, pretty much, love.
We just got back on the air. They had us for 30 days, and
Man.
they've been suppressing that, suppressing views since then.
Man.
But on some realness, so they dropped this album
today.
There's this underlying beef that he's supposed to have with Drake, but don't have with Drake, or Drake has T's dropping Certified Lover Boy on the same day. Kanye album I actually downloaded. It's 27 tracks.
Yes.
Nice.
But I
It's
feel
almost
like
2 hours worth of music.
but Kanye is a creative, so I'm not really surprised at that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kanye is still a musical genius despite his political view
right?
and his craziness.
Yeah, he's the creative, and that's literally like a personality type. That's what he does. That's what he chooses to do. That's his outlet. Even when he was holding his church services and things like that, those are his outlets. We all know something ain't right with Kanye. And I think that it has been said that he actually is bipolar, and that's his outlet. So I'm not surprised at the length of his new album. I'm not surprised.
It's a lot of features on it. But most genius type people like that.
I'm crazy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They say Einstein was crazy,
Of course.
and he's known to be one of our geniuses
Yeah.
that we've had. So there's that.
Well, here's the thing. To us, he's crazy because we don't think on the level of what he thinks. Keep in mind, you can't be too insane if you went from being the kid that no one wanted on Rockefeller to being a billionaire. To matching, there's no one that's on Rockefeller that matches Jay-Z's income besides Kanye. You know, and he has investments with Gap. And we thought he was crazy because when they reported his worth, and he was like, "No, I'm be worth about $1 billion."
Yeah.
And we thought, "Oh, he's tripping." And then when they went back to the books with the Gap deal, and we thought he was crazy. Oh shit, he is worth about $1 billion. So he's always gonna be a person that and then when they went back to the books with the Gap deal, he's eccentric and then it goes out there.
Right.
And you're talking to a person that who's writing some of his stuff, and then he's producing some of his stuff, and he's very hands on to it. And you're talking to a person that. But I mean, I listen to some of the album. I listen to most of it, but like it's 2 hours worth of music, which growing up in our era, that was a normal. Nowadays, niggas think they give you 10 songs. That's an album.
And they think that's a great accomplishment.
Nigga, that's an EP.
But real talk, with no shade, you know, thank you for your 10 tracks, but from the era that we came from, nah, that's not.
They had
but
10 tracks with 3 people on each one, and only going to be like 3 minutes long.
Right.
So that's not even an album. That's a
And
collaboration.
that's
That's a collaboration.
That's the thing. Even with Nas, when he did a joint, like Illmatic's not that long, but we're talking songs that are like 4 to 5 minutes.
Right.
You give me a 10-track album with songs that are 2 minutes and 45 seconds each.
Right.
That's really not a lot.
Right. And like I said, we come from a different era, and we talking when you say EP, these people don't know what an LP and an EP is. You gotta keep that in mind.
They think they get
It's like
LPs.
episode.
They think they get LPs, but they're really just getting the EP.
And you talking to somebody who I still buy LPs, and I'm not talking about no CD. I'm not talking about downloads. I'm talking about a album, a vinyl album, which is where that term came from.
Like, what's vinyl?
Right. If you don't know, you need to Google it.
Is that velvet?
You need to Google it. And there are some artists that still release on vinyl. I'm very pleased. I have her album on vinyl.
I saw her perform the other day on America's Got Talent.
She good, right?
Yeah.
And Raheem Devon, shout out to him, hardest working man in DC. Real talk. I don't know when he sleeps. And he doesn't, even though he is signed artist, he's had, you know, he's in the industry, he still drops those little mixtapes and everything. Like, I want to say since the pandemic started, I am not exaggerating, you guys can Google Raheem Devon. He has dropped so many albums, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how he sleeps, along with going live almost every single night, singing and performing. But his last album, he also dropped on vinyl. He dropped a real LP too. And yes, I bought it. Yes, I bought it. But and I like to support, especially I'm from here, so if it's a DMV artist, I like to support. So keep that in mind, guys. We do love supporting our DMV artists. So we do support those who support us all over the world, but those DMV artists are we hold dear to our hearts. Definitely reach out to us, but yeah, these kids don't know. They don't know.
I mean,
I can tell you what they do know about.
Oh God, what?
They know about stupidity because there's a lot of people doing crate challenges.
Yep.
So one, I'm gonna talk about you dumb motherfuckers that reposted shit.
Oh, people repost it because we can't believe it.
Well, here's the thing about
The
that
general
though.
public is like, what they doing?
But the thing about it is that, okay, but if you got a friend that has a podcast, you got a friend that's an up and coming rapper, you got a friend that's an up and coming that's an entrepreneur, has a business. If you're not reposting their shit, but you have enough time.
Or if they tag you and you hide yourself from that tag.
Yeah.
Oh, because don't think we don't know that you hide yourself from those tags. Because I done saved it.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Who you? I'm not going.
Cause I got people that be tagging me and stuff that I don't even talk to.
No, but we talking about your
missing the point.
friends. If
You
your
missing the
friend
point.
is tagging you in something, I've seen your
You missing
friends
the-
tag you
You
in.
missing the point, CP3. If you can't repost or share this show, right? But then you tag me in some fucking crate challenge. The fuck? I mean, that's just stupid. Like, first of all, I'm grown. I don't want to see grown niggas falling off a crate. That's dumb shit to me. If you ain't showing me how to make money or help build my business, then I don't need nothing.
How they doing a crate challenge together. The community, you see groups of people there to support in these crate challenges. But where are those groups of people when your boy opens up a new business?
That's the point. That's it.
They doing a crate challenge together, but
I
they're not
mean,
making
I
money
say the
together.
same thing about the whole "Don't Mute DC" go-go movement. I'm like, you can come together to make DC the sound of DC, but you can't come together to stop 6-year-old kids getting killed in the street.
But,
That's
but I'm gonna
totally
be real
different,
with you. The people who put together the movements are the same people who be at those, memorials.
Yeah, I'm speaking of the community.
I know.
No,
I
but
know what
I'm-
you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
But I'm saying at least the people are putting it together. They're doing all these different. Whoever turns up is whoever turns up. But you're right. People support what they want to, and that's kind of where we going.
I mean, even with that, to my opinion, for the whole don't do DC is like this. The people who out here shooting ain't the people that ain't listening to music. They out here living the street life.
No, what I'm speaking of is that they can come together for a cause and a movement to make change happen and get celebrated when it does happen. Why can't we as a people do that for our community?
Well, just like
Is
the-
my question. We
just
can
like
do
the
it for the
people
dumb
who-
shit, but we can't do it for the
who
real
are
shit.
at the Welcome Home Ray Ray party that Ray Ray done shot up the whole block, killed everybody's kids, grandmamas, dogs, and everything else. And they at the Welcome Home Ray Ray party, but when we talking about police brutality and stop killing us, they not there. But they gonna go to Ray Ray party, and Ray Ray should have been locked up.
Yeah.
That's the hypocrisy of the bullshit.
Right.
So I mean,
But at the end of the day, these crate challenges,
I mean,
oh
folks,
baby, y'all don't realize how y'all looking right now.
It's looking ignorant because one, you got people committing assaults on these things.
Yeah, that we
So,
talked about that
We
one.
talked about that. We saw a video the other day, and the dude literally kicked the crate out from the lady when she was on top.
Yep. And it's on camera.
We talked about that.
I'm sorry, but back in my day,
Somebody should have whooped his ass.
but hold on. Back in our day when we were younger, if we knew we were on camera, there's certain things we knew we were not going to do.
Yeah, but the sad part is that's not the only video of a dude kicking,
We seen a lot of
and they're kicking just out of female. They did some dudes too, but they know the dude you gonna whoop that ass. But even if I
whenever
can't
he
fight,
get back up. Whenever he get up.
he get up. It's stupid enough to stay there while.
But before it even comes to that, what possessed you to get on top of some milk crates? Like for real. And I put up a post, and some people I noticed they didn't like that post, but it was Judge Joe Brown saying, "So you walking up these milk crates for $50? Sound like a crackhead to me." Because he called everybody.
You do.
He called everybody that. I mean, no offense to anybody, but that's what Judge Joe Brown did. But at the end of the day, what possessed you to do this? Like, we did dumb stuff when we were real little.
This is crazy.
We did stuff like on the playground. The little.
But these are not
dome-looking
young. Think about this. These are not young motherfuckers.
Right.
These are niggas in their 30s and fucking 40s doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
If you was in your 20s, I could be like, he kind of.
And some
These
people,
old niggas doing this shit.
but some people are supporting it. Like, yeah, when we was young, these are hood gangs. But key words, when we were young. When I've seen people that look like they got grandbabies.
I say niggas that already got great grandbabies. I don't know, could be the crap. But some of them niggas look old as fuck. And they is like doing the crazy.
One of the first ones I seen was a pregnant girl.
The lady who got kicked, the joint you showed me, the lady who they kicked, she was like an old crackhead. And the nigga kicked the shit out of her from under her.
I don't remember if I sent it, but did y'all see the one with the baby? Somebody had put it wasn't real high, but it was milk crates and they had the baby trying to get of course the baby fell off. I was like, what CPS gonna get you? You recorded it and put it on.
We, like you said, we did stuff back in the day.
But this is ignorant.
I know, I'm not.
But they're grown.
Look,
Like we used to. But
it's
here's the
called
thing. Even
survival
when I was,
of the fittest.
even when I was young, I don't think I would have done that. The most I did was that dome monkey bar thing, and you get up the top and you stand at the top.
Oh yeah.
That was it.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
But
Yeah,
it
but
took one person to fall off and break their arm, and guess what? I didn't give any on
Let me
it.
tell you
But some
something.
people have to do that
Let me
shit.
tell you something. Fall on a monkey bars is no joke. However, fall on a monkey bars 14 and fall on a
I
monkey
was
bars
younger.
and fall on a monkey bars at 40 something.
At 14, I wasn't on the playground with the monkey bars. I wasn't.
I mean, it's just your body heals different.
Yeah.
When people do stupid shit, shit happens. It's
And then
called
they-
survival of the fittest.
But
If
then
they want to
like,
do this shit,
oh, I can do. But we're in this age of people saying, I can do it better.
that's fine.
That's what they. That's the stupidity.
If
of
they
it.
take themselves out, that's one less stupid person on the earth.
But here's the thing. Take a step back. This is by design. Okay.
We have a following mentality of a sense of
No.
society.
That's not what it's deeper than that.
Mm.
This is by design. During the whole time, this is think about the stuff that's going on while people are focused on these new great jobs.
We know that society is easily distracted. That ain't nothing new.
No, it's not about this this trend has been introduced to us. These milk crates, I ain't never in my life seen so many milk crates. People are really saying, where these milk crates coming from?
You joints
That's the
everywhere.
crazy thing
I
because
ain't never seen that many milk
Because
crates.
you never worked in the industry doing
you
it.
used to give up.
When
You're right.
when you don't work, you don't notice them until
Here's
you
the
got to
thing.
work with them motherfuckers.
You notice
Then
them
you
when
see
you
them
working.
everywhere.
You notice when you working in certain industries, because keep in mind, there were some industries that we both worked in at the same time. What I'm saying is, it's one thing for it to be in a warehouse or in a certain place of business. It's another thing for all these milk crates to be in the hood.
Because if you go to the back of the stores, they just sitting back there. If they don't, if the truck don't come pick them up, they just stack them out back and leave them there.
Ain't no truck picking them up now.
Yeah, that's because everybody said because they didn't see them back there. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna go do this now. Like I say, some folks, sorry to say, that don't deserve to be on the planet. Back in the old days, if you was doing 60 in a fast car drunk and you hit the wall, you was dead. Wasn't no airbag, wasn't no seatbelt.
You are determined to get us put off the
I'm
air
just
today.
saying. I'm not feeling.
Some people don't deserve to be on
I'm
this
not
earth.
sad for these people that's deciding to take this so-called milk crate. When you see me on a fucking milk crate, only time you see me on a milk crate if I'm detailing the car and I'm cleaning the tires and I'm sitting on that motherfucker. Other than that, I'm not trying to balance myself on some fucking.
Real talk, the only milk crate, and I think I might still have one. We used to put records in the milk.
Yeah, that too.
That's
Yeah,
something that I just said that these young kids don't know nothing about. But
I still got some in my sister's house full of records.
I think I got maybe one in the house.
We got one of the arms.
Yeah, I remember those too.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about like a regular. You know,
my
the little-
grandmama had one.
But I got my own friends. I'm so happy. My dad still got his. He won't give none up.
Oh hell no.
Yeah.
They don't give. That's like my dad and his 8-tracks. He didn't get them motherfucker.
My dad got some.
I know. I lost my 8-track player, man. I was mad about that.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like this is just absolutely ridiculous. And during this time, they focus on the milk crate challenge. They ain't know that Pfizer got FDA approved. They don't know about what's going on.
No, because half of them ain't taking the vaccine, so they don't give a fuck.
You said they what?
They ain't taking the vaccine anyway, so they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: you got to look at certain things. Once it becomes FDA approved, then here comes the mandates that affects everyone. That affects everyone.
Yeah,
It affects
I
it affects this
personally
whole
know some-
entire society.
I personally know some folks who said they will not take the vaccine no matter what.
Right,
Yeah,
I get that.
And I can tell you now, as
But-
a mandate of being in healthcare, September 1st, if you ain't got it, if you ain't got your first shot, you ain't got no job.
And that's why I said it affects everyone, because even those who think it's not going to affect them in any way, shape, or form, it affects our society, and it's going to continue to affect us. Once they start doing these mandates, and that's what people don't understand. I mean, and they just focused on the milk crates. They focused on the milk crates.
Well, they are easily
Because
distracted.
even if you got the vaccine yourself and they start doing these mandates and people are no longer working, then here comes certain things that happen within our economy. Like people need to really take a step back and look at this situation.
People are still thinking that, unemployment's going to be the same how it was last year in 2020.
Nope.
Where,
especially after the mandates, no.
That shit was beautiful.
If you got, I can guarantee that it's gonna be some problems. This is the start of a lot of stuff, and people don't understand that.
They don't want to understand.
Yeah, they focus on the milk crate challenge.
But I hate to say this, our society isn't the brightest society around.
It don't. You don't gotta be bright not to say I'm not gonna work on fucking milk crates. Like,
Common-
you have, like when
You got little kids that's like,
Common sense is not common, man.
I'm
you
not
send
asking you
little
to
kids, girl.
describe.
You send these adults, the kids like,
Common sense is
I'm
not
not asking you
common.
to describe me the components of a wormhole that takes you through time and space. I'm saying have enough fucking common sense not to walk on a stack of milk crates and you know that you don't have great balance.
What you gonna tell an old nigga? I got this young blood, I used to do this back in the day. He go
Then
out there
you
and
told
bust
you
his
gonna
ass.
fall.
and they have.
Yeah, I mean,
And my thing is, what happened?
Or you just tell a nigga timber.
You said the survival of the fittest. Real talk. When we were young, if somebody tried something first, right, and it was an epic fail, when we were little, guess what we did?
We didn't follow it.
well, I know a couple of
It
them
only took one
motherfuckers
nigga
did.
to be like, yo.
That's what I'm saying. When I saw somebody doing tricks on top of the monkey bar, and they fell and broke their arm, no, their collarbone.
You ever go to the collarbone?
It was always a collarbone back then. I feel like I haven't heard nobody break their collarbone in like 25, 30 years.
Because you niggas gonna go outside.
But
Like monkey bars.
when they would fall, everybody else is like, oh, my second thought, I'm not going to do that. So what happened to these people? What? Why are y'all doing this?
Because it's a trend for one, they're followers for two. They want something to go viral if they do complete it, and they don't take into account that they ain't got no damn health insurance, and they probably gonna end up fucked up.
That's another thing. These niggas who's doing it don't look like they don't have ass flack or nothing. These niggas they probably don't have no job.
But you about to get told out. We still in a pandemic. And cancer is still a thing. It's on the rise, real talk. And we don't have no room for you in the hospital.
They're going to patient first.
We're all messed up. You're not about to walk in patient first, because depending on where you at, that patient first is gonna look at you and be like, no, baby, go.
Yeah, one of the dudes that
Go
face
on,
planted off of that joint did a video and was like,
Yes, I saw.
don't do the great child.
Yeah.
That man have an eye,
He was
socket,
all messed up.
nose, take a tissue of his nose, jaw swole. I mean, comment to me, I know I'm older, and I'm
No, you the same age as these people doing it.
yeah, true. I'm like, well, I was older than the dude that got fucked up in the video, but it's no way in hell I'm attempting to walk up a tower of milk crate. Like I said, I've worked with them, so I know how unstable they are. And if you don't have great balance and you're going up 5 to 6 levels, the possibility, the likelihood of you surviving that debacle is very low.
I told you I tripped up the steps.
Yeah.
You will not catch me on some milk crate. And then there are 2 females that I saw. Thank God they made it through, but they had on heels.
I mean, what
Yes,
gets
I saw the chick.
But it was 2 of them that went viral, and I'm like,
let
and
me
then
tell
you
you-
got the dude rolling the blunt,
that was
and
impressive.
then he did a second one where he went over and then went backwards,
Oh shit.
and he didn't fall. Guess what? These people are not normal.
So let me,
Yeah,
let me
dude.
tell you.
You probably can't do that.
Let me tell you something. So I remember growing up as a kid. There was some black ice on South, and we were walking to the bus. So The bus pulled up right in front of the ice, right?
Mhm.
So one nigga fell. Black ice on the sidewalk. But okay. Two niggas fell.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right. So the third nigga fell. I looked at the bus like, you need to move the bus.
I'm not walking on.
No home.
I remember, yeah. And here's the thing. Notice you said
See,
black ice.
that'd be some shit that I do.
Yeah. I'm not walking on.
Like who's gonna be the lucky contestant that's gonna make it on the bus today?
Because I'm not doing it. But the crazy thing is nowadays they don't even go to school when there's black ice.
Oh, that's
So,
true.
but I remember stuff like that in school. You know, we would go to the bus and there was a lot of ice. And some of the kids thought that they wanted to be, you know, Nancy Kerrigan or somebody, and they wanted to ice skate across the. I was looking at them like, I should see you fall.
Yo, the funny nigga when my man was like, so how come you ain't trying? Nigga, 4-3. I said, what the fuck do I?
I'm not doing.
Why do I need to be the fourth? Nigga, mathematically tells me that I'm not going to be
Not doing
successful.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I saw a dude try to slide across the truck, and it wasn't as thick as he thought it was. That nigga face plant.
See? Exactly. Like it's certain things that
Oh,
I feel
man.
like what's the difference between the you know and like I said, these people are our age, some even older. And what happened? Because I felt like people had more sense back in the day. Like y'all lived through all this stuff.
Common sense is not common anymore.
Right. But where did your common sense go? Because in order to make it to the point in life that you're in, you had to display some common sense somewhere. What happened?
Or they were protected.
Some of these motherfuckers are stupid.
Definitely.
I feel and
Stupid
this
is
is one
and
of those
stupid
times
does.
where you can see, because I would be the first to tell you social media is not all bad. You can use it for good, but this is one of the times where social media has failed us
Yes.
because it has made this trendy.
And the thing is that for people to do it is just it's like okay, for one, the girl who did it, she wasn't that big. The dude who rolled the blunt, he wasn't that big. Like you
And
know,
then one big girl that went viral,
the girl who did it, she wasn't
that she didn't, you could tell she ain't had good balance walking in general,
exactly.
and she looked like she broke her entire back.
So I saw that when I was like, oh, she's gonna fall. Like, and she got past 2 crates, it was a miracle.
And guess what she did? She got to that third.
Timber.
I'm like, girl, bad.
Fuck that.
But it's the funny thing is though, and like I said, for all you know social media people, like y'all will repost this and y'all will ha ha he he and all that other shit. But my biggest issue is when we post about businesses and opportunities or anything, whether it's a podcast, whether they cutting hair, whatever. Y'all don't repost your friendship. But y'all repost ignorant shit every fucking day.
And you know what? Something I had to laugh because first of all, this you see a lot of black people. You
You don't see white people in this shit.
No, you see a couple. Literally, that was it. I saw this one. It was a white girl and a black girl. They both were going up at the same time. Don't know why. And it kind of looked like the black girl was trying to keep her balance, and she kind of used the white girl a little bit, and the white girl went falling down first. So it was kind of looked like, you know, like the black girl messed her up a little bit. But the thing is that it is in the black community. But one of my posts, someone pointed that out, and one of my friends who was a white guy, he was like, "Yeah, I'm sure that you're embarrassed, but you don't forget that, you know, we had people eating Tide Pods."
Okay.
That was the white people. So he was like, though I understand your pain, don't feel bad because we've been here, you know. But
Still, people think the Earth is flat.
I've actually talked to some people in recent years that
Me
felt
too.
that.
And I was
Astonished.
I had to go roll up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you
And
serious?
they go into
No,
theory.
but then like this was a crazy conversation. She went
they go deep into it.
No,
Yeah.
I mean she had so many conspiracy theories I couldn't keep up. I told her, I was like, can you prove any of this shit that you're wasting my time telling
No,
me
they
about?
tell you, they start telling you
Yeah,
information that
like,
they
I'm
feel
going to
they
this
have.
website and it's right here. And I go look at the source, twokittens.com. Why are you reading this shit
But
first
no,
of all?
when it comes to the flat Earth, they do mention the flight patterns and things like that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard that numerous times. But you know, no shade. If you can believe what you want to believe, I just don't believe it.
I mean, you can
Alright.
believe it. Just don't have that conversation with me because I'm gonna have to leave.
So a follow-up question from last week. So OnlyFans have reneged.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So now they're gonna allow the pornographic stuff to come back.
They said that they're not gonna allow like sexual intercourse, so-called porn, but you can still do single solo stuff, from what my understanding.
Here's the thing. If OnlyFans got rid of all of that, OnlyFans would be no. Because when we hear OnlyFans, what do we think?
I'm about to start me a page.
Amateur porn. That is it.
I'm about to start me a page.
And off air, technically I'm not supposed to talk about this, but off air I'm gonna tell you a funny situation where I was working and that conversation came up and I had
yeah,
to gently
you
tell
did.
someone. Yeah.
You can't do that.
OnlyFans is considered a porn site, honey. Certain things you can't do with OnlyFans.
I know a couple of folks that got some things.
And like I said, it was a working environment, so of course I was embarrassing someone.
Yeah.
I can't see paying for it. I go check out the free page.
I don't. You can get the same stuff for free.
Yeah, that's how I look at the free page.
I mean, I don't think I go to OnlyFans like to watch porn for free.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
Like those are.
the collection I got a porn at home is yeah.
I think your porn probably got dusted.
It does.
You gotta know in beta.
Beta, VHS, and DVD.
I believe you.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Real talk, the only people I know that still got anything beta that is.
Nah, I ain't
is
never had.
porn.
I wasn't a beta, folks. I was VCR.
The only people I know that still have beta anything was because it was porn.
Hey, man, some classics.
I feel like that was the only purpose of beta.
Hey, I got some football film that I
On
have.
beta?
Yeah. That's why I'm mad I lost my damn player, man, when I moved.
Yeah, you
I
still
still had
left
it.
finding something like that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna find it.
No.
I held on to mine. My man saw that joint. Like, what the fuck is that? I said, nigga, it's a VCR, the Betamax. Do some research. Go Google something, nigga. I still have my
You
Coleco
probably were
vision.
real defensive too.
Hell yeah, when I pulled out a videotape, my motherfucking niece was talking about, what is that?
Oh.
It's so big.
But wait, your niece should know. They were still making VHS.
They was already in the digital age in their young age. My sister had them with tablets and phones and everything. They ain't had no
Oh wait,
VCR.
they younger than my daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oldest one is only 16.
Oh,
Trying
yeah,
to
because
age
my
you.
daughter was at the very end of the VHS.
Yeah. They don't understand the struggle, man. Blockbuster had to run that damn tape so you don't get fined. and shit.
Yeah, because my daughter remembers going to Blockbuster.
Hey, that was the highlight of.
I used to work at Block.
Yeah, that was the highlight of Friday night for most families, man. I remember me and Mike when he first got our first. We didn't even have a VCR first. We had a VCP, video cassette player. It wasn't even a recorder back then. They didn't even know how to record
No,
back
we couldn't
then.
before back then.
And we went and got Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. That was my shit.
Remember the silver ones that popped up?
That's the one we had. Yeah, that's what we had with the little bullshit counter on the front with the little joint. We used to be hyped up, man. We going to Blockbuster to get a movie tonight. Then we had the big TV, the small TV on top of it.
The floor model?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
had the big.
Yeah. My dad still has it in his basement and it still works.
He still got the shelf stereo system.
Somewhere.
rack
I'm
joint.
sure he does.
Everybody had one of those.
My dad still has his A-Track. He still got all the record players.
Ask what happened to my Sam Cooke 8-track. I don't know what I did with that motherfucker.
Yes. My dad still has reel to reel.
Sam Cooke, my nigga.
Can you imagine him listening to Sam Cooke?
Man, my grandma. Man,
Come on, y'all.
we had the
CP3
8-track player back in the day, man.
CP3 listening to Sam Cooke. Amazing.
Man, y'all don't understand about the 8-track. Wasn't no rewind. Wasn't no fast forward. You had to wait for that shit to
close
come
your
back
eyes
around.
when you listen to Sam Cooke and Bobby Head. That's what you do to Sam Cooke. That's not right. That's not right. That has to be against the law.
Hey, man.
You doing the robot snake. What
Hey,
is that?
man. You get that feel, man. Music just make you move,
With
man.
that said, did you see Regina King's movie, One Night in Miami?
Nah, I haven't seen it. I heard
If
it.
you're a Sam Cooke fan, you need to watch it.
I don't have Netflix.
That ain't on Netflix.
On Amazon.
I don't have Amazon Prime.
Okay, but we talk offline. There's ways to watch it.
I know. I have a hard time watching the shows that I normally watch.
That's a movie.
Same, exactly.
So I just watched, you know, I was still on CP3, so I like to give my fake movie review on Amazon or Netflix.
Okay.
So I just finished watching the joint about even David Back. So you know he was the guy who used to do the paintings with the afro, the white guy and stuff like that. And he's always so
Paint that
positive
pretty little
and
bush.
nice.
Put a little push over.
Yeah. You know he was
You talking about Bob Ross?
Yeah.
Bob,
He like
yeah,
painting.
Bob
He
Ross.
like painting bushes.
So
I'm trying to ignore this one right here.
So,
You ain't sitting around looking at me.
so he his family practically died.
Mhm.
And basically, the people who were helping him produce the show stole all the money.
Yep.
And they left and then his uncle, well, not his uncle, his brother, his half brother, basically sold the rights. And he didn't have all the rights too. He was supposed to consult with the sons,
Right.
and he did. And he sold their rights to those people.
Yep.
And it's just so sad because he's such a happy guy, and all he really wanted to do was fucking paint.
And
And
there's
make
so
people-
much drama behind it.
Yes, I was like, it starts off really, really fucking happy, and then you get into the middle, and that shit gets dark.
You like what?
Real life is a motherfucker, man.
Like, it's some shit you be like, whoa.
It's him and Mr. Rogers that really like blow my mind.
I meant to watch the Mr. Rogers joint. I
It,
have
it
no
blows
idea.
my mind because these are two iconic people that were on for so long, and you watch their story, and you're like, huh? But especially with Bob, you know, like he was so cool.
Man, like he was sniffing coke off a stripper's ass.
I know, yeah, but I'm just saying. And Mr. Rogers, you know, he taught people how to tie their shoes.
I wouldn't really be a Mr. Rogers fan. Oh, okay, Cali King.
But you knew who he was. when
Yeah, I knew he
little,
was,
You
yeah.
know,
But even so, what's the name? Like, he was in an affair. He had an affair with like one lady, with one of his partner's wife.
Who, Mr. Rogers?
Nah.
Oh, Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Bob got that afro.
Yeah, he was painting the bushes, man.
He
But then he did apologize to his wife for it. But then, like, the people that took over his image, like when you buy those paintbrushes and they have his images and stuff,
It ain't
the
going
people
to
that
his
own
family.
it ain't going to his family. The people that took over, yo, Dave Rand, his friends who were doing another version, like a coloring book.
Yeah.
They ran them out of business. They went to the manufacturer and said, yo, y'all use Badger hair brushes. Tell them that it's on the endangered species list and they can't use it no more. And they stopped selling it. Like, it is, people were afraid to get interviewed about this documentary because they were afraid that they were going to get sued. Because that family sues people. And they even to the point of the lady had a picture of her in a, one of those 70s straw chairs. Yo, she did the exact same pose in it.
That Bob did.
Yep.
But on the side note, that was one of the only white dudes I know with a clean ass afro like that.
He did.
That joint was clean.
It's perm.
They had a
Yeah,
perm.
it was a curly perm. You know they used to do
Yeah,
that
but it
back
was
in
still even as a motherfucker.
I mean, because you gotta pick it out and then you gotta shape
That's
it.
what I'm saying. His joint was that's the only white dude I seen with a fro that was manicured like that. Man.
Yeah.
That shit was clean. And he always like painting bushes, man. That's why
Why
he
you
was
gotta
my
keep saying that?
because he was my
Go, get it
inspiration.
out,
He's
get it
my
out.
inspiration
Come
for
on, get it
bushes,
out.
man.
What's with the bushes?
Because I always, when I was trying to paint, I always like to make sure I hit the bushes first. Because the bushes are important.
What is with your fascination of these bushes, particularly something that's inspired by the 70s
'Cause
bushes.
I wouldn't mind a 70s bush right now.
Ladies, ladies, we have a serious issue.
I'll blow that thing out.
It's help. Please assist CP3. I'm
Oh
not gonna
man.
treat you like one of these.
Hey, at least I ain't like White Mike. I ain't out here just cannibalizing 6,
I'm
7
not gonna treat you
people.
like the kids in Africa for 25 cents a day.
Hey, it's not like I'm White Mike and I'm cannibalizing 6, 7 women in one
Oh
sitting.
my god.
You ever?
Most I done did it 4 in one night. It was a fourth. No, 5. Well, yeah, 5.
He
Well,
can't-
no,
he can't even count no more.
no, it was 3.
He
So,
can't count no more.
Nigga, you done said like 4 different
nah,
numbers.
because it was a foursome, so it was 3 other females, but I only ate 2. The other one, yeah, she wasn't fucking around. She was a so-called lesbian, but she still took some dick. My bad, man. I just...
We'll go like one if we give him a little bit of leeway. Like,
Hey, because when you see all the alcohol, I got a lot of it around me tonight. Shit just coming out.
what?
I was thinking, I'm trying to be coming in.
I'm glad I ain't adjust the microphone so that people can hear you really well because you are on one today.
Hey, man, I told you, man, that trip to West Virginia changes a man.
No, this rum punch changes the man. What you mean?
That shit was good, too.
Mm-hmm. Apparently too good because you don't know how to act.
Man, it's been a rough week, man. Rough week.
You talking all low and you're not talking into the mic.
It's been a rough week, man. Rough week. Sometimes you just gotta let. I told you, man, this is my release,
Ew.
so to speak.
Ew.
This is, well, technically, yeah.
No. Stop there. Stop while you're ahead.
It's all over the screen.
Why? Why must we go through these things with you?
Because I'm part of the show. It's entertaining.
That doesn't have to be part of the show, you know.
That's what makes it entertaining. You
No, that's
You
gross.
never know what the hell I'm going to talk about.
That's
Oh my God.
you done. You done with that part
For now,
for now.
I might come back.
You want to talk about?
Come back.
You want?
Yeah.
Let's talk about how Drake saying he gonna drop an album September 3rd. Yeah,
Certified Lover Boy is supposed to come out almost a year ago. It's been a while.
Drake.
I remember
Okay,
when he
Kanye
did-
is the creative. Drake is the perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of those tracks off of the Drake joint. I like them.
I mean, when I heard Tootsie Thud, that shit did not make me like it.
I don't know the name of it. I heard like 2 of
The
them on
one
the radio.
that got the little dance too.
That shit was garbage.
I heard on the radio, so I haven't had a
Like,
chance to watch
hey,
it.
real talk. So here's the funny thing. When we talk about Drake, and Drake is one of the best entertainers out there. But when we talk about Drake and rap beef, Drake has lost more rap beef than what than he. I remember.
But it doesn't it doesn't affect his career
It doesn't.
because we know he's soft. Like, and people have accepted him for his softness.
So early on, Big Sean and Drake took a L against Ludacris. And I remember they had this joint, and Luda was like, "Oh, it's my super duper flow," and I see you and Big Sean. They was like, "Oh, some, we did it better." And Luda did this joint where he put, because he's a hip hop, so he put all these other artists who had similar flows, and then he went into his rap and he beat the shit out of it.
I mean, Luda has the road rage anthem. You see what I'm saying?
Bitch, get out the way.
He has the road rage anthem because that is like, people say it all the time. He just tried to make it seem like I said that on the road recently, but come on now.
So
And Drake is a sing-song rapper, and
I mean-
Big Sean is a sing-song rapper.
I mean,
with Drake, I think he's very diverse in the music. He, produces his own stuff.
But
makes
we
his
know
own-
he's
you know,
soft.
slow
Oh, yeah,
your
he's-
roll, slow your roll. You lied.
What did I
He
allow?
did everything.
He don't produce his own stuff.
40 Cal produces it.
Oh. Well, he has great production value with the stuff that he puts out. Because I know I'm not really a fan, but some of the stuff that I hear, it sounds pretty damn good.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of it.
Drake has bangers. However, he got a catalog, but he's not like. Why are you trying to beef with anybody about anything?
But when we talk about like his win-loss record,
Oh,
he
when it
don't
come
have
to
the greatest
beef,
win-loss record.
His lost record.
Yes, yeah. So then we can talk about Common. But when we talk about like the nigga called him Canada Dry on his own song and remixed his own song. With the joint with
I feel like that's so funny. Like, I love Carmen. I always have.
He called that nigga Canada Dry. Drake came at him on the Stay Scheming joint, and then Common replied. When Common replied, no one was talking about what Drake said. He's like, this nigga just said like, dog, how you trying to go gangster and you Canada Dry? Like, dog.
I mean, it's real though. It's honestly, Common said what we all been thinking and we all know. You know, I don't understand why Drake goes after people who are like real hip hop heads.
So we're talking, and so keep in mind, that's another loss. Let's be clear. We haven't even got to Pusha T. So then Drake decides he wants to go. The only battle Drake really won is against Meek Mill.
And a lot of people don't consider Meek Mill
you know, charged up and back to back. Yeah, he crushed Meek Mill. So that's 1 out of 2, right? He went back and forth with Jay-Z.
I don't even look at it.
You know, the keys. I brag different.
Yeah.
My wife Beyonce.
Yeah.
Shut that shit down real quick.
I don't even know somebody try.
Now we gonna go into the whole Kanye. So he's beefing with Kanye, but Kanye's not even the nigga that this.
But you forgot. You skipped right on over the fact that we found out from somebody else that Drake got a baby.
Oh, no. We got about to get there. That's what the whole people Kanye. So basically, Pusha T was dissing Lil Wayne in them, and Young Money, and he was dissing like
And then
Drake.
here comes Drake.
And Drake stepped up.
Because Drake, we already knew he was in love with Lil Wayne. Because remember, he was like, ooh, he's so ooh.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
So
yeah. Oh,
when he
we
went,
have to show you that clip.
when he went to go bar for bar with Lil Wayne, with Pusha T bodied that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, he went back and forth, and then when he did the story of Adidon and he exposed Drake had a secret kid, yo, Pusha T had an album called Surgical Summer, which he was going to be dissing back and forth. They didn't even want that. They ended the beat. But the thing about it is, even after Pusha T dissed this nigga, he didn't reply to Pusha T. He fucking replied to Kanye and started going after Kanye.
Right.
Kanye wasn't the nigga that was dissing. He was like, well, I think Kanye is the one that told Pusha T about my kid and all this other stuff and this. He tried to make it seem like Kanye was the problem. Nah, nigga, Pusha T bodied you. You stepped up for your man and you got bodied. It's like, yo, now I'm gonna knock this nigga out and then you get knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen.
Pusha T's a real. Thing is, I wasn't a fan of the clip. I'm a big fan of Pusha T though.
Mm-hmm.
He, as a lyricist, his albums have been really vastly underrated.
Yeah. And I feel like it's kind of been that way. Like people sleep on him.
Yes. So he caught a big L with that one. And I want to see what Certified Lover Boy is going to do because, like I said, Tootsie Slide was not impressive to me.
No. It was something that was good for TikTok. That's all. It was good for TikTok. You saw that the little 1-2 step thing?
I'll check it out.
So now we gotta talk about.
Oh Lord, what's going on with your Cash Money 99 to the 2000s?
So Thank you, Kiana Safety, because you made me forget about this last week, and I meant to talk about this.
I'm glad she didn't make you forget this week.
I'm ready for another video break after that.
I bet.
It was good.
So basically, Turk was on Glad TV. I only fuck with Glad TV.
Me neither.
Because he's a culture vulture. Suck my dick, Glad.
I don't know what to do with the both of y'all today.
I ain't even do nothing.
Y'all just want us to be a target.
Yeah, I know. That's my bad.
They already got us targeted.
Profiling
is wrong.
But so he was on Vlad, and he was basically. I sent it to y'all. It was. He said two things that was very suspect. So he was on Vlad, and he was. So he was talking about. Well, you know, the whole kissing in the mouth situation with Baby. And his reply was, and they even played from the Breakfast Club the week before. He was just like, yo, you know, all men play gay games. The whole kissing in the mouth situation with Baby.
You can't speak for all men, first of all.
No, you cannot.
Because I know a lot of men that don't.
So he's trying to equivalent it to, well, you know, when you play basketball, you slap a dude on his ass. That's a gay game.
Well, first of all, you can, even if you want to say that, guess what? Not all men do that still. So next.
First of all, if you want to slap me, you tell them to slap in my motherfucking ass. I don't play that shit. And the difference between slapping a nigga on his ass and palming a nigga on his ass. Like, that's a gay game. Palming a nigga's a gay game. Like, slapping a nigga on his ass because they could play, like that's part of sports. However, if you ain't about that, nigga don't touch me. I will knock the shit out.
That's what I'm saying. So even if you want to try to use that, because you know,
kissing a nigga in the mouth is
different.
not the same. It's not the same equivalent.
But even still, even the smacking somebody on the butt, that's still not something that everybody agrees to.
Yeah. But that's not the equivalent. And kissing a nigga in the mouth is, oh, that's a gay thing. Bruh.
That's intimate.
That will get you stabbed one from.
That's quite intimate. Now I will say this: in American culture, it is not widely acceptable for two heterosexual men to kiss at all, let alone on the mouth. Other countries, those cultures, it is accepted. Not all other countries, but there are some other countries that it is accepted. So it's not always considered a gay game. However, in this country, it's something different. If that is a culture that you want to adopt and you want to say that you're not gay, this is something that you do though, but you don't look at it as gay, fine. Own that and say that. But do not say all men play gay games. That's not a good response. So you're admitting that what you did is considered gay, and now you're saying that everybody plays gay games. No.
I mean, and I don't kiss my nephew. I rough him, I slam him, I beat him up, but you know, that's what I do with nephews.
Mm-hmm.
Now my niece, I'm gonna kiss her all day on her cheek.
Right.
That's my little niece. So that's just me, and that's just how I was raised.
Right. And it's a cultural thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know any guys that play gay games and kissing each other on the mouth. And when I played ball, I didn't, slap folks on the ass. I give them high fives or, something like that. So I don't know. I always found that kind of questionable with that dynamic of their relationship. But I mean, yeah, you can't put that broad statement out there for all men that, oh yeah, all men do this. No, nigga. We don't do that. We might chest bump, pound, high five, but kiss a nigga on the mouth? No, I can honestly say in my 43 years, I've never done that once in my life.
And I mean, but our culture in general is not all about kissing anyway. Because even men, there are men that don't kiss women just randomly on the cheek, let alone the mouth, unless you certain people, politicians,
I mean-
say they kiss someone in the mouth. But
I don't because of makeup.
I mean,
that's the only reason.
Most of the time.
you gonna kiss one that cheek because of makeup.
Yeah.
No. You talking about on the mouth?
Oh no, I kiss them on the mouth, but I don't like lipstick either. That's kind of one of my stipulations.
But we talking about
You don't
like,
like lipstick?
we talking about like a
Yeah.
regular random greeting. We're not
Oh,
talking about
random greeting?
somebody
Oh,
that
no.
you're talking to.
I
Like
got- I
you're
got-
in an intimate relationship with.
I
I'm
went
talking
somewhere
about a
else. I went
regular
some-
greeting.
my
I'm about to
bad.
go back to this conversation, but
Cause you see that I was looking at like you just
You don't-
randomly kissing people on the mouth.
you don't kiss one
Back in my day, maybe.
because of lipstick. But you done ate an ass out of fresh out the shower.
That's fresh out the shower.
But you don't like lipstick.
I don't. Well, no, I don't like the smell of makeup pretty much.
Well, you do know that makeup has lipstick. There's some that smells like cherries and bubble gum. Yes, it's a lot.
You know, we just did CP3.
I know, and I'm glad that we say that because it's hard for people to understand. I'm not being an asshole. I'm not being picky.
No,
I'm
you're
not.
just being weird. That's
I'm
all.
just being me.
weird.
I know what I like.
So,
Yes, weird.
so the other statement that he made was, he said, you know, I cheated on my girl while I was in prison. And then Vlad was it a male or a female? And he said, you have to be my book to find out.
That was a way of promoting the book. That was a shameless plug. However, whether it was a male or female or not, you have now allowed people to use their imagination. There are some people who may now not want to read your book because if you cheat on your significant other in prison, there is a percentage of whether that person would be a male or a female. The percentage that it is a male is extremely high. There are some people who don't want to read about it. If that percentage is extremely high that you slept with a male, they don't want to read about you sleeping with a male. If you slept with a female and you cheated on your significant other, that would imply that that was a staff member, because that's all that's going to be there.
Yeah.
So it's a possibility. However, leaving it at that point, you're leaving yourself wide open. You may hurt your brain instead of helping.
Especially when the second video was that and the guy played Gagan. So now you have one actually thinking. And
You
now,
running around kissing people in the mouth.
and the thing was, there's no footage that I know of Turk getting kissed by Baby, but they were commenting on the whole Lil Wayne Baby situation.
Meaning, you have now implicated yourself.
Yes.
There's that.
I'll pass.
That means you think it's okay to kiss in the mouth, and then you're saying that you cheated on your significant other in prison. And we know that the percentage of you sleeping with a man versus a woman is higher. You know, that percentage of the man part is. So I mean, sometimes people need to take a step back and think about what they say and how that could help or hurt their brain. And those are two different things that could possibly help you.
I think CPT wants me to do a music break real quick.
I'm
What are you
I'm about to do a
looking
music
at?
break.
scrolling, seeing some interesting things on social media right
I
now.
see.
Yeah, it's some
Every
interesting
time
stuff.
you are sitting here and you look at your phone's phone and you see,
I know you ain't talking to somebody seen on your phone by looking at my accident. I know you ain't talking. I had to go wash my eyes a couple times. Like, oh Lord, is that 4 or 5 people in that room?
what?
Is that a midget?
Something is wrong with you. Yeah, we need to go to break because you.
That was a rich around.
Yeah, this is Bagel Bill. We had a last week, gangster.
Like, he is that. What you mean with it's important. In order to grow up, you gotta grow up. I fuck with you niggas rap style. I'm like an earth and you keeping me lit. So you my son, nigga bitch like some whole bunch of bro. Plus the feelings stay shitting out my nose full of coke. Listen, you keep saying you a killer and you shooting. You keeping me lit, so you must got you niggas bitches real hoes. Cause you broke. I heard video Listen here, Curry, your parents will be miss you. They want you back home with your sisters and your issue. You want to wreck the street like bitches with the pistols, but when the feds come, you'll be snitching like a victim. Yeah, real one thing visible. Everybody in the streets really miserable. You got these kids thinking fame for the criminals, but that's the same thing I got Gotti in their vision. You ain't gotta keep repeating you gangster, cause gangsters don't tell motherfuckers they gangster, and gangsters don't tell you no sucker they gangster. That's how I know you real motherfuckers ain't gangster. You ain't gotta keep repeating you gangster, cause gangsters don't tell motherfuckers they gangster, and gangsters don't tell you no sucker they gangster. That's how I know you real motherfuckers ain't gangster. These dudes haters better listen from the street. That making money is my art, and I could draw on a nigga in the catch them flipping money, flipping buck. So please, I came up in the queue, now listen ass, they crack the speakers and stuff. I bet it's my confidence is zero tolerance. So dominant is dominant. And I said, game. All y'all niggas talking on tracks. I'm coming south. I refuse. We pull up on caps. I told bullets like Cam to function. Other function. Did I trap in the BI? My hand for hundreds. Promise that your bitch won't miss you. Cause I'm official. What's that? Make it get in your face like this. Facebook is so damn tough. You acting different, nigga. You ain't yourself right now. You need a Snickers, nigga. Running your lips, I beg us, you get you killed. None of y'all been big so long, you a bill. Spit stick, pray for me. My safe is a bakery. Flip bricks, occupation masonry. Basically, I'm raping me. No mistaking me. Racks plus a villa station. Like a baby, you ain't gotta keep repeating you gangster. Cause gangsters don't care, motherfuckers, they gangster. And gangsters don't care, so no sucker, they gangster. That's how I know you real, motherfuckers, they gangster. You ain't got to keep repeating you gangster, cause gangsters don't tell motherfuckers they gangster, and gangsters don't tell so no sucker they gangster. That's how I know you real motherfuckers they gangster.
Gangsters take care of all the kids. Gangsters don't brag about no biz. Gangsters don't tell you how they live. Gangsters, you just know what it is.
You ain't got to keep repeating you gangster, cause gangsters don't tell motherfuckers they gangster, and gangsters don't tell so no sucker they gangster. That's how I know you real motherfuckers they gangster. You ain't got to keep repeating you gangster, cause gangsters don't tell motherfuckers they gangster, and gangsters don't tell motherfuckers they gangster. I know you real motherfuckers they gangster.
No, I'm a sensitive thug.
You can't even talk no more.
Huh? I'm feeling good. Feeling free.
I don't think your mic is.
Still feeling free. It's on my feet.
I don't think they can pick up what you're saying.
Yes, they
you
can.
know.
Unfortunately, my mic is very high. My laptop, it picks up everything.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah, I went back and listened a couple times. Hope we changed the name to protect the guilty. Because messing with y'all with nobody innocent.
You said what?
Huh?
Messing with us with nobody.
Innocent. Oh, suck it now. Who? Oh, it's a brother joint? Okay. Did we hear this one before? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Baby, light it up to let it go. Top down, let's go. Right now, oh no. Baby, light it up to let it go. Baby, light it up right now. Baby, light it up. Baby, light it up. Baby, light it up and let it blow. Then I come around, I check out like it's say you want it. You feel the same way when you love explosion. We gave each other. He makes me sneeze. Space. Girl, I want you.
This is
Love feelings never
gospel.
change. And I said a long time, but I'll never forget what you said.
You told me that you want my baby. Well, that's the reason that I'm saving myself for you. Let's go.
Sad thing is, I don't know why I was thinking about that this morning. Like, I'm thinking about no, my ex-girl used to, she didn't care if I, was clean or not. I was thinking, I was like, damn. I used to ask her, like, when we need to go. Yeah, I mean, she didn't know if I, use that. Not with every day that I did, but she liked what he, smelled of man. Ball spackle. He liked me that. As soon as I walk in the door, he was ready to rock and roll. Speaking to the microphone. Microphone check 1 2. What is it?
The camera picked that up.
I hope it did. Maybe she watched it. She know who she is.
Yeah. So we back from the music break.
We really needed to have that music break because somebody was saying some really terrible things. And it was like he's low, but he know I can hear it.
Sometimes you just gotta speak the truth, man.
That's
sometimes
not you share too much.
But sometimes you gotta share.
Nasty.
We have to share the knowledge and
No,
spread the wealth.
that was not knowledge. That was knowledge that was not necessary.
Everything is knowledge.
No, that is just nasty.
Which part?
Oh God, no, I'm not getting it. No. It's like I just want to regurgitate.
Oh, I got some other stuff.
No,
that make
I
you
don't want you to share that.
Talking about White Mike.
You see what it's going, right?
I just seen some shit.
He's talking about White Mike, and so you already know where this is going.
Saying we started off the show talking about it, might as well bring it back full
But that
circle.
don't mean that you need to continue and keep the show. So we need to find somebody for this week.
So
Me too. You ain't lying.
the rapper Spottum got him who had the viral hit beatbox, which everybody was doing the little beatbox dance to. The guy Junebug made viral. It's apparently on the run. Rappers, let's pay attention. Let's pay attention to this rappers because y'all are dumb as fuck. So you're making money. You got Gucci Mane artist Pooh Shiesty got on the remix for you, and you're on the run for apparently a murder that was committed last year in Dallas. So as the police investigate this murder, they went and found a song on which you're basically confessing to this murder, and the police don't know that you did it.
That's stupid. And
Chasing
we've been
it.
hearing a lot of that lately.
Like, what the fuck?
Chasing that street cred, man. They don't know how to keep shit quiet. They like a bad refrigerator. They can't keep shit. And they want to brag and boast to gain notoriety or the accomplish
Out of
the...
everything why the fuck would you make a song
Implicating yourself. Go ahead.
about that? Like we live in a first of all, the hip hop police goes back to like 1990 something. Like I know a nigga that was working for the DEA and he told me they had wiretaps on Snoop, Ghetto Boys, Birdman. Like they've had wiretaps on hip hop for a long fucking time.
Meaning some of these people, for their entire lives, this is how it's been.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you are exempt from that?
So here's the crazy thing. So I mentioned that he had a song with Gucci Mane artist Pooh Shiesty. So Pooh Shiesty was locked up. He's locked up right now, right? Because they robbed somebody, and the money that he dropped, because he could have paid for the shit, but the money that he dropped, they traced the serial numbers back to an Instagram post of him flashing the money. So basically, he just told us.
Yeah. You remember not that long ago when it came to 50 Cent, when he filed for bankruptcy, and then he posted a picture of all this money on the bed. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was recent. That was in the last however many years. Nobody learned from that apparently. People don't understand that they do watch your stuff. They watch your social
They've been watching your stuff.
Like, why would you think they're not? I'm confused. That like
I think they untouchable.
people that I know that have gotten in trouble with the law want to avoid the law. If they create a social media, there are certain things they don't put up there, including their real name.
They
Their
made me,
government.
they made me show ID to get my page back open.
Yeah, that's why Facebook started doing that. They became like the feds for real. But there are still a lot of people that do not have their government name.
I know, I've seen. I'm upset about that.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to me how these people really think that they're not being watched. To some degree, everybody's being watched. So why do you think that if you're doing something bad, you're not going to be watched? That's confusing to me.
Why do you confess about in a song and I don't think they can find it? Because you put your music online. The crazy thing is, you have, like, I looked it up. I think, matter of fact, let me give you the correct number of how many views Bebop had on
I'm sorry, if you killed somebody, you might as well just go to the Christian genre or something because you need to be singing about Jesus and everything else. You do not need to be singing about what you did wrong.
So, this
This can
song,
happy you out.
the remix of this song, now it's not even the first version. The remix of this song, the whole Pooh Shiesty, has 58 million views on YouTube.
And you know,
So he's monetized.
Even let me say this.
That's just on YouTube.
Even if you don't think that the feds are watching, you don't think that somebody's gonna watch this and take that information and give it to the feds? Like, even if you didn't think that the feds were watching, do you really think that you're putting this information out here?
Do you do you honestly think this generation of these folks think that far ahead?
But that's my thing. They have recent evidence. When I said 50 Cent, that was a big thing. Like, a lot of people were talking about that. And then we were talking about how stupid 50 Cent was.
And folks repeat stupid behavior. That's what I say. I'm not shocked at all.
And that was bankruptcy. That wasn't even
Yeah,
murder.
Folks do stupid shit, and it's not the first time that a rapper has put some lyrics in a song that
It's
got him in
not.
trouble. So I mean,
right.
it's
And unfortunately, it's not going to be the last.
yeah. So I mean, common sense is not common.
We know.
If they make stupid decisions and the repercussions, are what they are, it's life. He made a choice, a stupid choice, and if he has to pay for it with time in jail because he did it, then so be it. It is what it is. I mean, y'all folks want to flash and put stuff on social media, like Lady Antoinette said. I'm sorry. Our generation, we don't do that. Like I had a lot of stuff back in the late '90s and early 2000s when I was making moves, but ain't no pictures of that stuff nowhere around.
But here's the thing. So I'm gonna throw some numbers at you.
Mm-hmm.
So that particular song, which is like a year old, he's remixed that song up to like 4 times, and he's gonna put like other artists in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the original version had 28 million, 24 million on Spotify.
Mm-hmm. And that's not to mention when other people post the same things, because that happens.
So the second version, which had Pooh Shiesty, had 23 million.
And that's just Spotify.
Another version that had Young M.A. at 11 million. I didn't even know about that. Another version that has NL Chopper, I don't know who the fuck that is, has 25 million.
Welcome to my world. I don't know half these
Then
motherfuckers.
another joint that has the baby, who's one of the hottest rappers out, has 67 million.
Mm.
And he thought nobody just.
All that money you just go because we're talking a murder charge. So, and you've confessed to it on tape.
And
which
they're
means
going to use that.
all that money you just exactly. Because we're talking a murder charge. So
You give it's you know.
he was, but he's a great, and he's already in trouble because he just caught a charge
Exactly.
several weeks ago he pulled out a gun in a hotel in Florida. He's from Florida, by the way. And the ATF, not regular police, ATF ran up on him, and this nigga was sleeping with the gun.
Here's the thing. You know, there was a saying that I remember being told a long time ago about people are gonna hold a gun at you. You giving them ammunition. You giving them the bullets. Over and over and over and over. It's bad enough you doing what you're doing, but you're so careless about what you're doing that you're literally saying, here, take this evidence. Take these behaviors that will help contribute, because there is such a thing as cross-referencing another case.
Yeah.
There is a such thing. So if you're known to have guns, you're known to have violent behavior.
You just had the gun charge, and now you have this murder charge.
I mean, like, really? You just gonna keep piling this stuff on?
Yes.
And you're not gonna, and we're talking about these are several charges. So you gonna just be in jail for this one, then you gonna have to serve that time. Then after that, then the next sentence gotta start after that. Because they're not gonna let you do it at the same
But
time.
that second charge is a Fed charge, the ATF.
But that's what I'm saying. You gonna have consecutive, you know?
Yeah.
Bruh, you trying to go away. Like, for real, for real. And how do you think that's gonna help your career? That don't happen that often.
Yeah, you know. Oh, speaking of jailbirds, Sean actually was let back into the United States. Did he help actually come back on some diplomatic stuff? Because he's a representative.
Right.
Listen to that.
I
Segue
mean-
that a little bit better.
Speaking of jailbird. But real talk, there's not so many people who did time, hard time, especially. And after they got out, they had a successful career. It's not so many people. So you have to look at the statistics on that. And that's all the way around in the entertainment business. Everybody ain't rock. Charles S. Dutton.
Yes.
Who, for those who don't know, I was just talking about him, so he's in the forefront of my mind. For those who don't know, he did hard time for murder, got out, then his career started. That doesn't happen.
Sometimes you gotta kill a motherfucker to get what you
And
want.
You know what?
He killed someone. But here's the thing, it's crazy because when we were introduced to Rock,
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's the
we
murderer.
didn't know that. Like he said,
The character he played was like the nicest father in the world.
and he was a law-abiding citizen. Like, real talk, he was just, you know,
And even the menace to
struggling.
society, he was the wisdom. Like, when it's so like, damn.
You never would have thought that Charles S. Dutton was a convicted felon. Never. But that's an example of him flipping it. You know, and right, there's hope for you.
I'm working, man. I told you I'm trying to
But he
change.
was able to flip it and be successful in his life. But you got to understand that doesn't always happen.
It doesn't.
And to be at the age that some of these young men are, it's like, bruh, like you about to take a big chunk out of your life.
Yo, this dude is like probably in his early 20s.
You about to take a big chunk out of your life. And here's the thing, you weren't in a situation where you had to do it. That's what I don't understand. You weren't in people look at Meek Mills and they were very judgmental about it. But you gotta understand his legal trouble started before
Yeah.
he had the fame.
His big trouble, his probation was an unfair probation.
Right.
And I thought he had finished that, but he was on
Yeah.
probation 10 years after something.
After doing his time.
After doing the time, and it wasn't even at that time actually prevented him from signing to T.I.'s label, and then he wound up signing. But he got a second chance, and then he got to sign with MMG.
Right.
But the crazy shit about that is like the time it took away, like shit. His probation
was
was
longer
like
than
longer than the
everything.
fucking time.
Yeah, it was. It was, and that unfortunately that shed light on a lot of issues that
Yeah,
happened.
I think they went back and found how to reverse that because
Yeah,
it's not-
eventually, but it took a lot.
Yeah.
We saw that, and that was a big thing. But that's a one-off. You know, you got people that they get a little bit of fame, and they take that certain mentality that they had beforehand, and they carried it over, and then they hurt themselves.
Well, you know, when Slick Rick went to jail for shooting somebody, he never really recovered the way that. Like I remember the Great Mississippi was the top album of all time. Anything after that, like it was not, it wasn't the same.
No, no, he ain't even the same. And I feel like, unfortunately, he can't stay out of jail.
I mean, Russell Simmons at one point, they bought the ship that was back in England, and Russell
He
Simmons
was
stepped in and they got him out. They politics and stuff.
Some of them can't stay out the life, man. And sometimes it be calling you, man. You can't. That's all you know. That's what you came up on. That's how you survived. You know, going through whatever situation that you were going through.
But at the same time, once you get to a certain point, if you have those goals and you're serious about those goals, you need to understand that you need to do everything to protect that those goals that you have, so that you don't jeopardize. Like you shooting yourself in the foot.
Well,
Yeah,
even,
you
with
gotta-
even with the Spot of Guns, I'm like, dog, we talking record sales, right? So now we ain't even talking money. We ain't talking touring and stuff like that.
Right.
The money he's
Which you
making,
ain't gonna be able to do.
like he had that hit single. When that single was at the height, he's probably charging 15 to 20 bands to do a show, and they only got one song.
And all that's about to be done.
Yep. You think about it. He got pictures, dog, of him holding stacks of money because he's probably getting paid that. And
And it's about to be done. And he made this money off of what? So and you have to look at the eyes of the government. You made this money telling a story about a murder. They about to hit you over the head.
the crazy thing about this shit is,
Because you profited off that murder.
the crazy thing is that
And we not talking about civil.
he probably almost doubled his income once the they opened up back this year.
If he's found guilty,
He's done.
he has this, but that's another thing. It's bad enough that it's a criminal charge, but you found guilty of this. The family of your victim found guilty. You come after you so hard. You made a huge profit off of the murder of a man.
Yep. Made a song about it, so they can really see. So, well, listen to some.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life.
It is. Dumbass niggas trying to be criminal. CBT, what you got for this on Monday?
I'm leaving that topic alone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, tomorrow night, as always, bring you the best DC sports coverage around. Got to touch base with Big Hurt and Dujanay to see if they're available tomorrow. 9 times out of 10 they will be. So we'll have another preseason roundtable of week 3 of the 37-3 loss the Washington football team took.
Yes,
Yeah, I was
it was tragic.
Yeah, I was watching some of the press conference of Coach after the game and talking about some of the position battles and who played themselves into a roster spot or consideration. I believe Tuesday by 4:00 they have to be cut down to 53.
Yeah.
So we'll be discussing that on Monday night. If they don't join the show, Dujanay and Hurt, I'll break it down. Like I said, I'm gonna go home and watch the game from last night to get a better feel for that 37-3 loss and to see some of the things that Coach has spoke on.
Yes, it was a massacre. It was the Battle of the Beltway, and it was bad.
Well, they started Kyle Allen and Steven Montez. They didn't put the starters in, which is opposite
contrary,
to what
he
Coach
said.
said. He said he was going to put the starters in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the game, but when I looked at the stats, I saw Kyle Allen started and Montez, a third-year pro that's been on the practice squad his whole career.
And when you make that statement, Baltimore is going to respond.
Yeah, it was when I saw the score and saw who played, it kind of threw me off because, like I said, he mentioned earlier in the week that the starters were going to play. He didn't say how long they were going to play, but he said he felt like he was going to need some more work. They might have had some good practices before the game, and that might have swayed his decision not to play him. He said that injuries, wanted to avoid injuries, was his main reason for not playing the starters.
More stuff with defense.
I'm not really going to put too much into it. They still have another week before the first week of the season starts. I've had a couple of conversations with some fans online today talking about, the starters, how come Fitzpatrick didn't get some more go because he hasn't looked good. Tom Brady was out there in game 3. Why is it Fitzpatrick? I mean, different strokes for different folks. Different coaches take different approaches. And, I'm behind Coach Rivera. Everything they went through last year, still winning the division, even though it was a sub-500 record, but they still won the division.
It was an ugly win, but it was a win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, they didn't have preseason, didn't have OTL, didn't have training camp. So the first 4 games, they looked like some trash, discombobulated. They were finding their way. Now they had the preseason games on their belt. Not saying they're going to come out like gangbusters, but they should definitely, be improved. We didn't see that in game 2, and we didn't get a chance to see them in game 3. But, like I say, we'll see what happens when the lights come on week 1. So we'll discuss some of that. We'll also talk about the Washington Nationals week that was. I got to look at the numbers. I know they won 3 games last week. We were hoping they would win more. They had 6 games this week. I think they might have split 3-3 or 2-4. I think they lost to the Mets today. I think I saw the score come across. I have to check. But we'll break that down. And we'll bring in any other sports news, interesting things that come across the desk that we might want to discuss. Also, you go check out the website, sportsothp.com. You can click on the apparel line and get some of the apparel that we have, the District of Champions line. You can hit me up personally to get the Sports OTHP, partner with Eric Kusa. We got a couple of different designs that we use. So if you're interested, hit me up. Also, if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, hit me up down Waldorf Honda 2450 Crane Highway. We, dealing with this car shortage, but we making deals. We have a, adjusted market value right now. Prices are going up, but we're cheaper than most folks with a higher markup than we have. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle or used vehicle, come holler at me because we can make that deal happen for you. And that's about it.
It was 4-9 Mets.
Yeah.
So we know.
Yeah. They won the first game in the city, so I think they might have split 3-3 this week.
So sad.
Yeah, they're building. When you turn the game on now, you're like, who is that person? I had to actually go look up some of the folks who's on the field now. I was like, who the hell is Lance Thompson? Yeah, we have a player called named Lance Thompson. I was like, who the fuck is this kid? But, like I said, they were selling at the trade deadline. We have to, deal with the rest of the season. Hopefully next year, spring training and this experience they're getting at the end of the season, can help build towards what we saw in 2019, which is the World Series championship later on down the line.
I'm hoping and praying. And I feel like that season, I went to so many games. And then even with the Caps, the season that they won, the Stanley Cup, I went to so many games. So I need to go ahead and put my
definitely get the mojo going.
I gotta do that for my team.
But what I explained it a couple of weeks ago on the show, Davey Martinez walked into a ready-made team, and this is only his 4th year of managing. So now he's learning how to manage now when he doesn't have a cupboard full of talent, where he has young guys that he has to develop in the MLB players that can help this team get to the next level. So, it's a process. We got spoiled. He walked into a win-win situation with the roster that we had with the mix of veterans and youth. The staff we had set up, and they were, on the cusp of doing something great, and he was the help to make that dream come true for the franchise and the team. So, gotta have patience. A lot of folks was fed up with Rizzo and with Davey, but this is what you go through with growing pains of becoming a better manager and player. So, can't have it both ways. You've seen what he can do when everything is in his favor. So, give him a chance to build that back to a position that he's in his favor, and maybe he can do it again. And that's pretty much what we'll cover tomorrow night on Sports on the Hill podcast. Just DC sports without the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Mm. Well,
What we do, baby.
that's what you do.
6 seasons strong. That's what we do.
Okay, but you had to end it strong, like you weren't even drunk.
I was about to drop the mic, but I didn't want to mess up the audio.
Right, that would have been bad.
Oh shit! I lost my feet.
What? You said feed or feet?
Feed. Damn it.
I was about to say, please don't say you was gonna lose your feet.
Hey man, they get on my nerves sometimes. Suck having flat feet.
Lady Internet, what you got going on today?
Well, this upcoming week, my baby boy will be 15. The one that our audience has heard so many wonderful
The
things.
Rider.
Yeah, that's my ride or die. He came when I had to pull up on these fools.
You know, in Pennsylvania, certain spots, 15 is drinking age.
The Rider. Wanna take it for a drink?
I was just saying.
What? Why?
I'm just like,
It's bad enough the boy already has some driving under his belt.
I'm a fountain of knowledge over here.
You trying to corrupt my child? He
I'm
got
just-
enough corruption in his life.
I started drinking when I was 2, so
You know.
he's behind.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised? His little bottle.
I got a picture of me with a 7-ounce pony at 2 years old walking around the house.
But yet you complain about the liquor we have here.
Liquor. I said beer. It's a difference.
But they took a picture of me when I was little in front of the wine glass.
Foreshadowing like a mother.
Hey, it is what it is.
Mhm.
It's white wine. I don't need drink.
I'm not. I haven't found the wine that I like.
You did. The one I bought. It was aged in whiskey barrels. And you was like,
Talking about regular people wine.
that is regular.
Not Lady Antoinette wine. You got your old category. I want it aged in whiskey barrels. Pronto.
And it was just very strong.
Exactly. Yeah, we got the Lady Antoinette blend over here.
The popular wines are like 4% alcohol, and the ones that I drink are 15.
See,
See, thank you. You know, I am gonna try to get out to Silver Spring this upcoming weekend to go visit Twin Valley Distillery. I want to talk to the owner about us, you know, and then I mean.
mm-hmm.
So this weekend I gotta go to my nephew's birthday. First of all, yesterday was my brother's birthday.
Okay.
So renegade father,
Virgo. Ooh.
Big Ray Sean or Moochie as they call him, was his birthday, older brother. Let's see, happy birthday to him. And then next week is the little terror top I used to call my phone in the middle
Oh
of the show.
yes. Oh.
Shy, so it's his birthday. So we might be starting at
And how old
6:30.
is Shy?
Shy's gonna be 3, so I'm gonna jack his little ass up.
See, this one is the one right. Oh baby. But yeah, happy birthday to all those Virgos out there. We surrounded by them.
Yeah, so it's Shy's having his party next week.
Mhm.
So it's at 3, that's at 2, I think. So DJ Grip, friend of the show, my DJ, he's gonna DJ and then I'm not staying in the whole party, get my all the damn
And
kids.
it's a holiday weekend.
Yeah, and then I gotta work on Monday.
Oh, it is for Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord.
What's up? I might have some cards and stuff too.
I gotta work on Monday.
Don't make that face.
I had some.
Because last 2 times I had
I
cards,
know.
I bought you some.
I gotta get some. I ain't had no blue crabs since you gave me those couple.
Other than that, that's all that we got. So then I'm also lining up for the show. I got 3 dates that are open for the rest of this month. So
And I got one of them to put.
Yeah, I gotta contact a couple of folks that's interested in doing the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
so
It's no ratchet stuff. Because we got to ask you those questions.
We can get the pole to the ceiling.
No. I asked you. Was it ratchet?
No, there is no poles involved.
That don't mean nothing. What kind? I'm not talking about the metal poles. It might, after the video that we was talking about earlier.
I have a couple of young entrepreneurs. Well, not young.
Do not bring.
No, they're.
Cross the thoughts
I just say no. They starting the OnlyFans movement. They got the thing going. Nah, I got a couple of clients that I sold to, you know, folks in their 30s and 40s, so older kind of folks.
We
that-
talking about the car sales.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted.
Those are the only clients I have now, Lady
I
Anthony.
wanted to make sure.
I am a changed man. The only clients I have are through car sales.
No, I just wanted to be clear.
Yes, I have one client that has her own tea business, and another one that has like a dessert business,
Okay.
and also.
When she comes, she got to bring samples.
Oh, I already told her that. We're gonna, you know, we'll plug her along. The food is good and it's free. We good. And you know, I've had a couple of folks that we're gonna get to come through. What, man?
He's like, and it's good.
Yeah, you know,
And
long,
free.
yeah, as long as it's free and good, we'll give you a shout out. Well, yeah, we
So it's not
definitely.
good, but free.
If it's not good, one and done, baby.
Oh,
One and done. Can I wash this down with some alcohol, please?
well, just make sure you let me know. I'll bring some dessert alcohol.
Yeah, so
Like,
I mean,
like the chocolate.
you know, we put folks on. That's what we do, man. You know, we trying to expand, do some things differently, cause it's a lot of bullshit out here. And once you watch the show, you know we ain't bullshit. We might be full of shit sometimes, but we ain't bullshit.
You said you might be.
No, I said we.
And it's
No,
a
we.
you thing.
No,
It's a you thing.
you talking about your birthday? You 25. That's your
What's the
birthday.
problem with that? You are as old as you feel.
Not legally.
You are as old as you feel. Period. Point blank.
Mhm.
That's it.
So you tell them you 25, and they tell you 15. Like,
If I feel 25, that's how old I'm
so
gonna
you
be.
getting out when you're 40.
Huh?
So you getting out when you're 40.
I'm getting out. What you mean getting out?
If they said you were doing 15 to life and you 25, when if you get out, you'll be 40. And you're 15.
I'ma still feel 25.
You still, so you still gonna be
If I
25.
feel 25, maybe I'm gonna feel 30 by then. I don't know.
So you're a vampire. You know.
I said. See, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm just asking
But
questions
you
for
be the first one. I
clarification.
feel persecuted.
I told
Oh my
you I'm
God.
asking for clarification. That was my first message
am-
at the beginning of the show.
I'm turning 25.
I thought you just turned 25.
I'm turning 25.
Why do you keep
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand.
I'm
I'm trying to understand women's math.
The answer is gonna be what it is.
I'm trying to understand women's math.
I will
man.
let you know when I turn something other than 25. Until further notice, I am turning 25.
So what happened
because
with-
that is how old I feel.
What happened when your daughter turned 26?
What this that has no business. My nephew, who I raised, guess what?
No, we talking about
He
your
is
daughter.
26.
We're
I
talking.
said, baby, how you get older than me?
We're talking about biology here.
What?
She
You know
can't
what?
be older than you. If you had her.
We are done with this conversation.
No, we about to get philosophical on this. shit.
No,
I've been
I
drinking,
told you my answer is
and I
not
got-
changing.
I'm
I
about
got
to play
some-
some music so we end this show.
See, I had some philosophical shit.
I don't know why.
I've been drinking.
Clearly.
It all makes sense now.
No.
Yo, Renegade Money Mine, super joint, No.
A nigga gon' get it, we gon' suck it down. Conscious will go to that point of your price. Ain't giving fucks and I'm beating the kite. Niggas be acting that shit really tight. Hit what you buy, be sticking my way. Be stacking chips, take a bit with these legs. So on the moving and leaving the tray. I got flipping, I'm leaving the way. Look around, bad mix on my face. If I'm going broke, then I'm bad. It's not even new for the end. The minute
Oh, yeah, this joint rock. Like the beat.
Nigga chick alone like she was a stray. Shit don't like I'm wearing a brace. Stuff in spades like I'm doing a break. Shine on them, then they throwing you shade. Give you broken back, they knowing you paid. Then they bugging till you spraying the brain. Young nigga, and I do that in May. Some niggas better go count your days. I'm a young nigga, I'm go broke. Always been that dude, yeah, I'm broke. Living this life like fighting, there ain't no joke. Walk around this bitch like I am no goat. Walk around this bitch like I am no goat. Walk around this bitch like I am no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no coat. Walk around this bitch like I give no coat. I'm just getting started on paper my way. Thinking about making a million a day. Talk about got me a play. I'm making a million on bags and crazy. Wanna go to the hills and better my day. I'm stuck in the hood with killers and cats. Cause I told you I'm working on paper my way. Living that life was trash. Really got super flat. Now you can't catch me in traffic. Catch me in traffic, I'm blessed. I'm the one with the blue face. Niggas can't copy the facts. Walking ceiling with the girl got this new fat. Do it for August and Patch. Can't do it like I'm chopping. I used to be quiet. Fucker to leave, I'm dipping it down. I ain't got no time for the bitch on the move. I'm sliding that right in my life. I should go. And my FD kick you a box in the goal. I get that check and I go. I'm at 10 one niggas. I'm in with the dough. Try to reach for the sights. I'm gonna make niggas flow. Let me see if you want, but I let niggas know. I'm a young nigga. I never go broke. Always been that dude that gave him hope. Living this life, I tell you, it ain't no joke. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat. Walk around this bitch like I give no goat.